1.
Brum bum da 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 dum ba da da dum 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 da dum ba da dum ba dum ba da ba dum ba da bum ba bum. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Missouri RINO Watch episode number 7. Can you believe we've made it this far? This is the number of perfection, from what I understand. God made the world in 6 days, and then on the 7th, he chilled out. So here we are on the relaxed episode of number 7.
Today, yes.
So we do not have any guests this episode, but we do have Brett.
Hey, hi everybody.
My bearded
We
muse.
are on the air.
Mr. Brett O'Rear.
How
Okay.
are you doing, Josh?
I'm well. So we have a good show today, though, because this show is going to be a transitional show. Not the ones that happening behind parents' back
No,
that are
not those.
irreversible.
No, sir. Yeah.
But the ones that mean, like, kind of just changing directions a little bit.
Kind of needed to decompress from the last show. Last
yeah.
show was heavy stuff, man.
It was an incredibly heavy show. Yes, and I think that it
needed.
It got the biggest reach out of anything that we've done thus far, which I think was very important.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Ding.
And yes, while you're here, please like, share, and subscribe.
Oh, wait, we forgot somebody.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sam.
Hey,
Sam
Sam.
is going to be a much more, now that he is not worried about the reputation of his studio.
That's right, yeah.
He's going to be much more involved. So
that's
we can
already
actually
been
call this a
stained.
3-man show,
Yeah.
is what this is going to be.
Hey,
and if
and
you
to
all.
prove, just one real quick, to prove that our checks do clear, he got a haircut.
Yes.
Look at that haircut,
Check it
ladies.
out.
Look
Look
at
at him.
Still single.
Earlier, he was
Give him
looking
a
like
call.
a cockatoo.
Whoa.
It was all like,
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
quite embarrassed, or not embarrassed, jealous.
Whoa.
It wasn't embarrassed. It was jealous.
Embarrassed.
I'm
It's
embarrassed
kinda
that I
like
don't
a-
have a cockatoo's
Like a rooster?
mane.
Like a rooster? Like a red rooster?
A
There's
red
wrestler
rooster.
named Red Rooster one time.
Was there?
Yeah.
I remember. Do you remember Tatanka?
I do. He's an Indian.
Guys, yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
He was an
He
Indian.
was. Before that was bad to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so tonight's show, we'll give you a bullet point
Give a
breakdown
breakdown.
what's going to happen.
Give a
So first we're going to talk about voting outcomes from the school board,
Yes.
aka
Yes.
municipal elections. I
Yes.
still can't say that well.
Good
Then we're all
turnout.
going into legislation update. Mainly, shout out to Jennifer Ann Barker from Informed Health Choice Missouri for giving us incredible information that I'm definitely going to cover because it is pivotal. If you have been under a rock in the past 2.5 years, you may not know about the whole COVID debacle that has happened.
I'm not familiar.
If you've been affected by it at all, you will want to hear about all of this legislation because if we get it passed, we will be in a really good situation. But we have to fight our way through a couple of different rhinos.
Yeah.
And you know how fat they are.
Got a few of them here.
We got a couple of them there.
here.
We're also going
In
to talk
primary.
about little things of some initiative petition or ballots or whatever, ranked choice voting and initiative petition itself.
You said there was an update with that, right?
Yes,
You have an
2
update on that?
updates there. And then central committee preparation. All right, so we're actually going to cover some things so that you can be ready for the central committee. Really kind of want to build out a framework to understand what it is you can do on the central committee and how open it is as far as like the possibilities are kind of endless as long as you stay within said bylaws. And then, of course, we're going to switch gears into the primaries.
Into the primary.
Because it is really the most important time of the year for us, or the elections season. Not taking anything away from the school boards, that was incredibly important. But the primary is very important. It's nearly more important than the general election, only because it makes sure that we get the right candidate for the general election. Okay, so we're
fight
gonna
continues.
Agreed, and it's robust because there's a lot more to focus on now. But the good thing is I think that we have enough eyes on it. We have a lot of great candidates. In fact, I have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there may be one more. I just may not have the info on them yet. But 5 different rhinos that are going to be primaried.
Yep, they will be.
And we have documentation on some of these different rhinos. And we're going to talk about 2 specific ones tonight.
Yeah.
Justin Yayo Brown and then Mike Sir Point.
Sirpoint.
Sirpoint.
Did I tell you that Mike Sirpoint, he's bolder than you?
That is pretty hard.
Yeah.
To do.
Yeah.
It's a big achievement. Maybe that's maybe we shouldn't talk about that because maybe that make people like him a little bit.
Oh, because he's bald. Or maybe
Bolder
he shaves
than
his
me.
head. Bolder. Oh yeah, because he's bolder than you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he has you beat.
Well, he plucks. He plucks his hair.
On his dime or the taxpayer's dime?
What is plucking?
So
Plucking.
instead of shaving,
You go boink,
you pluck
Boink.
them.
boink,
You know, like
one at a time.
yeah, it's really dedicated.
Is that like his
It's
way of
dedication.
flogging himself?
I guess. It's just, I gotta stay in line. Gotta stay in line.
I don't know.
I
why
voted
they-
the wrong way.
I don't know why they don't do
I voted
shave
the
it.
wrong way.
Why are guys so afraid to shave?
I mean, I'm not.
He's not. He's got a Bic. He uses a Bic. Oh, a sponsor.
Bic it.
Bing.
Bing. But really, it's Dollar Shave Club
Dollar Shave.
because
Sponsor. Ding.
ding because they were smart enough to say like this whole razor industry is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty
And now they're like not only everywhere, they're also in stores. It's
Yeah.
incredible. I mean,
Which they
they've
weren't at
taken
first,
it.
which
You
was
want to talk
pretty
about
awesome.
a market value? Like that is the way that you take over a market. When you find a need, you fill it, and then you just. There's this other thing with like Jeremy's Razors. Have you seen this? What's going on?
Oh yeah.
So Jeremy's Razors is a part of what company again? Who are they in? It's Blaze. Is that what it is?
It's Daily Wire.
Daily Wire.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So they had this other company. What was the other company? Harry's Razors.
Harry's
Razors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Harry.
And anyways, they got upset and
So
and
wild
and
about
butthurt about.
Harry.
Well, they got upset about some wokeism.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went after. They were like dropping. What they dropped their sponsorship? What were they doing? I mean, they just was like, we're out.
Yeah, basically they dropped him from sponsoring the Daily Wire, and then the Daily Wire was like, okay, well we're just gonna do our own. We're gonna make our own
Right.
razor company, and they came out and released.
It was the
video.
yes, it was the one
Now I
that
know who
Jason
you're
sent
talking
us.
about.
Yeah.
Yes, that
So
was
and
awesome.
he went
He
in.
was like, I don't want to be your friend anyway.
Right, and
Yeah.
and they have like all these ads up in New York and stuff. You know how they have it on like the construction and everything.
Yeah.
And it says Harry's drew first blood. Like they just went in on him. Oh my god! And it's great because this is a transitional thing that's happening where the counterculture is finally coming alive.
Right.
You know, like you don't have to watch Disney, right? You don't need to see these embedded sexualized pictures or traumatize your kids with all the different trash. You know, I remember I was
Well,
reminded
it's all
by a
subliminal. Like,
Right,
you know,
right,
you don't
which is
see it
even
until
more-
later, which is worse.
right. Well,
But
I
it's not
remember
new. Disney's been crap for years.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
Sorry to say that, guys. The
From the
CIA
beginning,
was the one who funded him
Yeah.
buying that land in the swamp of Florida. Anyways,
Or California.
no, Florida.
He wasn't. They didn't have Disneyland first.
They did have Disney, but I'm saying
Oh,
they
you're
funded
saying-
it was swampland
gotcha,
in
gotcha,
Florida.
gotcha.
That's my old stomping grounds, by the way.
Yeah.
I've been to every Disney park 20 times over, unfortunately.
Mm.
But I shared a post on Facebook on my personal page, and it was all the different villains from not all of them, but a good amount of them. And it's just really sick when you like see all of them. And the one that scared me the most that I remembered and that still bothers me to this day was the Dumbo, when he like drinks the water out of the bucket and gets drunk. And like it's really like he drank LSD or whatever because he goes into this mad trip.
Oh yeah.
And it's this
Yeah.
elephant made of elephants. Like it's all different color. And it's so like it's psychotic, dude. And it's one of the saddest movies. I hate that. I hate almost all of them. Bambi starts out,
Yeah.
bow,
Well,
bye, mama.
They always rip the parent away from the child.
Trauma induced.
Right.
Yep.
And then they have to
A
find
kid's
their way.
worst fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Worst fear.
Absolutely.
I remember I had a nightmare when I was a kid one time. I still remember. Thankfully, thank God, I haven't had many nightmares in my life. I remember this is probably my first nightmare, and still remember it vividly to this day. And it was as simple as me walking down to the mailbox. I was like 4. And this little like goblin-looking guy like stood in front of me. And he was like, "You can't get back. You can't get back."
That's my mail.
Yeah, well, but I got the mail and I was coming back up, and he was blocking me from my family. My family was in the driveway.
All right.
And he was just like, he wouldn't touch me or nothing, but he wouldn't let me get back. And that panic of like I couldn't get back to my mom was like insane.
Yeah.
So that's that stuff they embed inside of you because, well, fear of man causes a snare, like Proverbs says. And so, and he who trusts in the Lord shall be safe. So that's the kind of thing it's trauma induced so that you become it gives a complicit mindset. right? You're more trauma-induced. You're more willing to do whatever they say because, there's somebody over you to protect you, to guide you, and so on. Anyways, screw Disney.
So the key is when a little goblin is trying to get in front of your mail, just kick him.
Kick him.
Kick him out of your way.
Right out of the
You'll
way.
be fine.
And I could have. He was small enough, but it freaked me out. And so it was like
Sure.
mind over matter.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you were
So
4.
there's a great, there's a great app that you can get on Roku. It's called Yippee. Yippee. And it has a bunch of like Christian Bible stuff. If you guys haven't watched, Superbook's the remake. So anybody that's my age, millennial wise, listens to or used to watch Superbook. It's kind of like the old, like it almost has like that old Asian feel to it. Those old Asian type cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Like real sharp edges and stuff.
Yep.
Well, they redid it and it's epic. Like all of the Bible stories that I loved, but like, and it's not like it's kid based, but it doesn't pull any punches. Like it is like, it goes in. So anyways, if you want an alternative, Yippie's out there. There's plenty of alternatives now.
Sure.
I think Daily Wire, didn't they say that they were going to put in $100 million into kids content?
Yeah.
$100 million,
DW
dude.
Kids or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So the
awesome.
culture is shifting, and what people have to understand is that we are that shift.
Mm-hmm.
So like even when it comes to like food, anything, the only way it shifts if somebody offers an alternative.
Correct.
So like if it's a school, or if it's a place to buy your produce, or if it's content creation or anything, you have to be the one. You have to be the one to offer the alternative so that people can transition.
Or
Or you could
lawn
go to the
care.
Sam Daily Show.
lawn care. You could go
Lawn
to
care.
Let's Mow
Yeah,
Brandon.
exactly. I mean, it's everything. Culture as a whole. The Daily Show, the Sam Daily Show, will be here from Monday through Thursday. Is
Yes,
that correct?
and if you're not there, then that's a problem. SamDailyShow.com.
Is it
That's
during
true.
is it during the daytime, like when people are working?
No, so it's gonna be 7 p.m.
Oh.
Monday through
But
Thursday.
it's going to be daily, aka nightly,
So nightly.
because the Sam
Yes.
Nightly Show didn't sound right.
Yeah, eveningly.
Well, it's like starting at 7, kinda.
Oh, like us.
Correct.
Actually, we would have been. We almost started on time tonight, folks.
We
For
did,
you.
but
We're like
then-
number 7. We're starting at 7.
Yeah,
But then
I
we did.
literally looked at my watch and I was like, man,
Yeah.
what's wrong with us? Nobody's
But
going to
it's
be
better
watching
that
it.
we didn't.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's
It gave everybody, because everybody else is busy too. Anyways,
that's
so
a bar we don't want to.
counterculture, get rid of Disney and everything else that has to do with
The best
hell.
way.
Hell.
Yeah, the best
Get rid
way.
of the
So
hell.
there's a lot of kids cartoons out there that are good, that are wholesome, that are
Correct.
fantastic.
Correct.
Just because it's Disney, just because they have a show, movies, all this for kids, it doesn't make it wholesome.
Correct.
Just dig into a little bit,
Or just watch
and then
it.
you'll see.
Yeah,
Then you'll
just
see
watch it. I mean,
Of course, we're probably preaching to the choir.
yes, agreed, but
but
at the same time.
just shut it off.
So what,
But it's not just the cartoons, right? It's
yeah.
Star Wars. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to watch Star Wars. Well, you can't get it. You can't watch it unless it's on
You're
Star
still
Wars.
feeding
and
the
you have-
beast.
Yeah.
You're still feeding the
Simpsons.
beast. Make a decision.
All of that stuff
Right.
that is on there, right?
Make a decision. Take a stand.
right. Take a
Your life will be better for it, and so will everyone else's. You'll get over it.
and then they will start.
Buy DVDs. Buy the old DVDs that don't come from
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like Disney has all these commercials still, like Disney Plus and stuff. And if you go on Facebook, every time I've gone to the comment section,
Yeah.
they are roasting them.
Oh, of course they are.
Roasting
they
them.
are.
So, I mean, this is a grand awakening. And they just said that they were going to introduce queer content
Oh, yeah.
into 50% of the new kids shows coming out. So like, let's not let kids be kids at all. Let's just rip that away from them too.
Because 50% of the world's kids are gay. Is that what it is?
I guess that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
it's something like 5%. Wasn't that the
Yeah,
last thing
less
we
than
talked
that.
about? 5%.
I think it's up to 20%.
Anyway, this is
23%.
social engineering, pure and
Oh,
simple.
that was a transgender specifically.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, social engineering. Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Don't let
what
anyone
the
figure out who
commies
they
do.
are. Correct.
the
That is
commies
what
do.
communists do.
Yeah. And
Communists-
who's infiltrated
I feel
the
like that
country?
name communist is not impactful enough.
Really?
That's what the
Pinko?
the
Like a Pinko?
Luciferians
Pinko
do.
was great, though.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think Luciferians
Well,
better.
one and the same.
Right. Okay. So let's switch into the first topic. So the first topic being voting outcomes
Yes.
for the election.
Yes.
So the election, this past election, was full of incredible victories, truly incredible victories. We also had some losses.
Yep. Some
But
disappointments there. Yep.
after shaking off the
But as
dust,
a whole for the state,
oh, huge
it was
win,
and around the country.
yeah, huge
Truly.
win.
Yeah.
Oh, and the thing is though, is like, it was a really good learning experience too, because
was.
we have to also understand that this is not the last election that we're in, right? So one of the biggest things that was pointed out, actually, before we get into that, I want to talk about the wins first. So, big shout out. First and foremost, I want to give a massive shout out to Darren Ross and Randy. Forgive me, I don't remember Randy's last name. I love you, Randy, though. For Patriots with Grit. Mm-hmm. These guys, I mean, went 90-0 to get all of these different great candidates on for a podcast, offering them. I mean, I think every single one of them was basically an interview about them, asking them all these great questions and giving them like an hour plus time to do, to get their message out and let everybody understand who they are. Mm-hmm. And also want to give a shout out to Mary Hill from, I believe, Clay County. She put together the big list of all the candidates at last minute, as well as, oh my God, Andy Wells. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. I could see his big beard, but that's all I couldn't think of his name. And his yellow shirt. His big beard and his yellow shirt. But those two.
And his mother, bless her heart.
Oh, she was phenomenal. She was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mary Lee.
Mary Lee?
I messed up and called her Mary Lou, and she almost hit me.
Yeah, she should have.
Yeah. So it's Mary Lee.
Respect your elders.
Agreed. But they put together that list for us, for everybody, of all those different candidates. And it's so funny. It's people like, if there's like 500 plus districts out there, everybody in the state. And, so we didn't get them all.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, what about so-and-so?
Yeah.
Well, tell us.
Right.
Just tell, let's get into the habit, people, of making shit happen. Sorry. But let's make things happen.
Right.
Right? Like, let's not... Like, where is this? I don't know. Google it.
Yeah.
Google it or DuckDuckGo it.
Use that energy and channel it in the right area.
Because if we all start doing
that, send it to us.
right?
And we will.
Right. I literally kept saying like, "Hey, do you know who it is?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's so and so." Well, okay.
Send it
to us.
Yeah.
Or tell everybody.
Right.
Like, oh, by the way, remember these people.
Yeah. Pick up your phone.
Anyways. It's funny because we're so trained to be reliant on something else that
I get it. Yeah.
So it's just tough love. That's all it was. Don't be mad at me. Yeah. So huge shout out to Patriots with Grit. By the way, these individuals are going to be a huge bolstering point for us. Okay, so they're going to continue to focus on the school boards.
Yep.
Right. So they're going to be doing follow-up interviews with the winners, and they're going to also be staying on the front lines to know what's happening at the school boards, so we don't have to worry about that slipping through the cracks, because we got to keep moving forward through the primaries and so on, right?
And I was going to say that just because some candidates didn't get on the school board, or even if they did get on the school board, the fight isn't over. It's still important to get to the school boards and have your voice heard.
Yes.
And keep up that pressure on them.
They can't think that just because the elections are over that we're going to stop showing up. We have to continue to show up. So Patriots with Grit is going to own that area. They're also going to start working with a lot of the primary candidates as well. So we're going to try and get like a ecosystem, a counterculture media network, right?
I actually might be on their show in the next weeks to come.
Sweet.
Yeah, they want me to talk about Let's Mow Brandon.
They kept talking about, like, he was like, Darren's like, hey, how can I get in touch with Sam? Has your number. And I was like, I don't get him on the show. No, it's going to be great because we're creating a network. Sam's Daily Show is actually going to be really focused on the culture, the counterculture movement. Like, Sam is a wonderful patriot, even though he has hair like a peacock.
That's right. He looks like a long
parakeet. God.
I told you I was going to make you cry.
Have you done it yet?
Just wait.
Oh, it's coming.
He's waiting.
It's coming, everybody.
So, but Sam's going to do the Daily Show is based on the culture, truly. So, like, so we need that piece. He's going to be focused on the culture, and he's going to be focused on really a younger audience, because we're so old, I guess. And because we don't. Sam said because I don't say based enough.
Yeah, you're not based to say based.
Based.
I'm so based, I don't have to say based.
Woo!
So,
there it is. You see, that's wisdom over nimbleness. Nimbleness.
We'll work
agility. Like when you're young, you can touch your toes.
We haven't had a word in the week in a while.
That's in a word in a week. You're right.
Word in a week.
We haven't had a word of the week in a week.
That's right.
Anyways, so Sam's going to do that Daily Show. I think that's going to be awesome. I'm excited about that myself because now I have something I can watch on a regular basis. Besides, I watch And We Know. Shout out to And We Know. Mm-hmm. And I also watch X22 Report.
Ding,
love
sponsors.
those guys.
Yep.
And Mr. Truth Bomb. I'm serious.
Truth Bomb.
Mr. Truth Bomb.
Oh, Mr. Truth
Mr. Truth Bomb. Dude is phenomenal, and he takes no money. He takes nothing. He won't take any money or anything else. He does it strictly for the cause, and the dude is incredible.
That's awesome.
He really is. I mean, he does a deep dive into stuff that
national level, I'm guessing.
Yeah, world level. But connecting all, the cabal and all this other stuff. I mean, and like dove deep into Ukraine and Russia, and really taking you back over the last decade and setting the stage so that you understand you can be objective.
Sure.
That's what I like about him. He doesn't put his influence on it. He literally just shows you the timeline. Anyways, he's phenomenal. Good. So if you're looking for some more really good content, and we know X22 Report and Mr. Truth Bomb, and those are going to be on the national level. But if you want to stay informed in Missouri and make a difference locally in the state, because we're sovereign and that's what we're supposed to do, Daily Show, Missouri Rhino Watch, Patriots with Grit, Flyover Conservatives, and April to June. Mm-hmm. Eric Naputi, Dr. Eric Naputi, his show, and Chris DeGaulle is one. I think he's in.
I saw him on the other day. There was something going on with Stegall. Something was posted. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Good input, Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
I wasn't gonna. I don't know. Whatever. I was just gonna give you a pass, but I'm glad you called yourself on it. Anyways, so Patriots with Grit, Sam's Daily Show, Flyover Conservatives, Missouri Rhino Watch, April to June. Eric Naputi, Dr. Eric Naputi. Yeah. And we're going to continue to build that network because, why wouldn't you? And what's great is we all kind of cover different things. So it's not like we're piggybacking on each other or stealing content or anything else or the focus. It's a
cannibalizing one another.
Right. It's a good truing of the circle, if you will.
Agreed.
Okay. The reason why I brought Patriots with Grit up is because they did an interview with Izzy Imig. Forgive me if I say that wrong. It's IMIG, yeah. And Izzy came over from the Middle East and worked with. She had worked with U.S. troops and was a translator and so on. And actually, like from what I understand, took interpreter.
Translates reading, interpreting.
There you go. See, you learn something new every day. Yeah. She was an interpreter. She probably could translate if she had to.
Probably.
Anyways, and she took a bullet in the gut while she was over there, right? Came back over here, and she is she has been dubbed the Warrior Mom, and her and Jessica Clark, I think it is, won Rockwood in the school board elections, which is a huge victory for Rockwood.
Fantastic.
And now they have fighters on the board, and what's crazy is they went after Darren hard, calling him a racist and wow. I'm a racist. And they said they were right. But this is what was so awesome is it then proved retroactively that, or in hindsight, that was a very pivotal thing. They were scared because they lost. Yeah. They lost big.
Yeah.
And so the idea is keep doing what you're doing. Good job, Patriots with Grit. It's phenomenal. Izzy, I commend you on standing up and fighting, and I really hope that you and Jessica both continue to fight as hard as possible because it's a necessity. Yep. We're at war. If you do not know we're at war by now, get out of the way.
Yeah,
just get out of the way.
I don't see how anybody could see it any other way.
I don't either. Also, another big shout-outs and congratulations to Jennifer Foley and Heather Eslick from LSR 7, so that's Lee Summit. R7.
Yep. Big win out in Lee Summit.
Big win, swept the boards there. Congratulations to Adam Bertrand and Randy Cook Jr. of Francis Howell and Katie Lysak of Winsville. I'm sorry, I may have said that wrong.
I think we butchered her name a few weeks back.
I think we did, but hey, it worked.
Hey, it worked.
She got elected.
We're
going to take credit for that, Katie.
Yeah, give us a call anytime, any name you want it butchered. We'll get you elected. Yeah, we got somebody visiting the show.
Yeah, that's what I did last time with my phone. Anyways, and then Joshua Hill from Grandview. Well done, brother. Joshua. You have taken a seat. It was a very close race. Yeah, in fact, it was the top two that got it. He was, I think it was like 924, and the next person was 925 in votes. So, I mean, literally.
I just wanted to let you guys know the audio sounds great.
Good.
Hey,
that's good.
Good. Now the audience knows.
Good. I hope you guys heard all that. And then...
we practiced that. That's why Sam said it.
Yes,
we've been practicing.
We have been. That was
it. Yeah.
that was where you were supposed to cry at the end of it.
He missed the crying.
I missed
the crying. All right, so congratulations, and I know we missed a lot more, and I apologize, but these are all the ones that I have access to in our network. More than happy to give shout-outs to whoever else won. One of the things that I want to ensure that we talk about, though, is the fact that we need to learn from our mistakes, or lessons learned for the areas that we didn't win in, and we need to come up with a plan for next year, because we've got a lot of seats open next year, right? And so the things that we may have fallen down on this year or missed the boat, however you want to say it, we can win it back next year. So it doesn't have to be something where we hang our heads. What we also have to understand is if I think the most turnout, the highest turnout was in Platte, and don't take that as gospel, but I think it was close. And everything was under 20% in voter turnout. Yeah. Okay. Some places had 7% turnout. Okay. And
need to get more involved.
Yes. But what we have to take from this is that we people, everyone that showed up and went out and voted, we are the tip of the spear.
Right.
So, and the forerunners, trailblazers, if you will. So if you do not come back next year, we're in a bad situation.
Right.
You have to look at it as, I was a forerunner, I was a trailblazer, I was here, I was involved, I've learned from this, and we will push forward next time. We need to get out the vote better next time. Mm-hmm. We need to think about these kind of things, because really all we were actually thinking about was who to vote for, instead of getting out the vote.
Yeah.
And I think that's a phrase that's thrown around so much that not everybody has a comprehension of get out the vote. It's like, get out, vote. Yeah. You know, like, you don't kick the vote out, you get the vote out. You get people to show up to the polls. And, you know, so we need to think of those in two different spheres. Overall, from the beginning, we start on get out the vote, getting people ready to vote, so that they show up. Then we move into this is who you vote for, right? And or
this is why you should vote for this person.
Correct.
These are the strongest candidates.
I hate to interrupt. But give our Facebook listeners a good hearty hello.
Hi, everybody from Facebook. Welcome to the live stream that we've been doing for 15 minutes. And so you'll definitely not
Laurel and hearty hello.
You'll definitely not encounter these problems on the Sam Daly Show, because he's getting them all worked out now.
That's right. He gives his A game for his own show.
All right. Well, good.
As he should.
God. Now you're going to make me cry.
So
Victory.
So welcome, guys, from the Facebook people. We're talking about
folk.
voting outcomes right now. Then we'll move into legislation updates, and then Central Committee preparation, and then switching gears to the primary. Sorry for all the Rumble people who were there on time. Sorry for all you Facebook people who were there on time. It's Sam Johnson the Magnificent's fault.
Sam the Glam.
Sam the Glam. We also call him Hot Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
But tonight it's just, whoops, forgot again.
Whoop. Now it's just, whoops, Sam.
Oops, Sam. Anyways,
Sam.
We were talking about the wins. So we were going over Izzy Immig's win, and Jessica Clark in Rockwood, Katie Leitzik in Winsfield, Josh Hill in Grandview, Bertrand, and let me just go back to the dang list.
We'll start back over.
Jennifer Foley, Heather Eslick, and LSR7, which is Lee Summit R7, swept those two seats, which is a big win. Also, congratulations to Adam Bertrand and Randy Cook Jr. of Francis Howell, and Katie Leitzik of Winsville. And
Leitzik, I think you said it right this time.
I think I did get it right. Third time.
That doesn't bode well for her.
Yeah, Joshua Hill from Grandview. So phenomenal job. I know there was more, like I said before, but we want to make sure that we give the shout out to the people that we at least know about. There are 500 plus school districts in Missouri. And so if you know of someone, don't yell at me for missing them. Tell me who it was.
Yeah,
and I will share it.
I
will share it.
We will share
I will share it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the thing that I also wanted to talk about was the fact that we came up short in some different districts. And some
important districts.
Every single one of them.
Every
single one of them is
especially
absolutely important. Yes. And we
one.
came up short in some of these districts, and the reason is mainly because we didn't have enough voter turnout. The highest that I saw was 19%. I saw things as low as 7%. Okay, but we have to take from that we are the tip of the spear, that we are forerunners, and that if we decide to go away, right, then next year it's going to be even worse. Yeah. So we need to see ourselves as the beginning, right? And we're going to continue to push forward. We're going to continue to get out the vote, and then also give the reasons to vote for said candidates.
Get the right candidates in there.
Correct.
So as we mentioned, or I mentioned earlier, the cannibalizing.
Yes.
From the podcast,
right.
We're not cannibalizing one another.
Right.
And in Park Hill especially, there were good conservative candidates, but they took votes away from one another.
We did not.
We had good participation.
We did not strategize properly because there were split votes, and the split votes cost us the seats.
Yeah.
Also, voter turnout.
Leftists in there.
And now we got 2 leftists in them. Yeah, now we're 7-0.
Including Monsucks and Bart.
Monsucks. We can't count him. Yeah. That's for sure. I mean, he'll dance and stuff, and he'll do a little.
Yeah. He's a song and dance man.
But anyways, he won't vote like he needs to. We've already seen that he bows.
Yeah.
When the time is tough. Anyways, I had to doodle because I wanted to punch him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Monsucks. Anyways. Yeah. But the whole thing is this. The split votes, so that's really on us too because we didn't focus like we should have. And in reality, we were kind of all scrambling. We were doing whatever we know to do. A lot of people that are involved in this have never done it before, and I think we did a really good job as a state for what we did. And it really was encouraging that so many different parents and non-parents, just community members, stood up and went to the fight, ran to the fire per se.
Yeah.
What we need to do next year, because there's more seats, like we can flip Park Hill next year.
Absolutely.
Because there's 3 seats up.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 3 seats lost, and then then probably Monsucks will follow in.
Of course. He knows which way the wind blows.
Right. Anyways,
Bart will be out by then.
Yeah. Goodbye, Bart. Anyways, conservative my arse. But we need to see it as, okay, we started this year. We've learned a lot from this year. How can we transition? And so we have some ideas.
We have some suggestions, strong suggestions.
So the whole point, and this is going to dovetail into our committee thing in a minute, but the whole point of the committee, Central Committee, is to get conservatives elected, right? And even though that school boards are bipartisan, they're really not. They're just called bipartisan.
They're not.
We need to see those as just as important as everything else. And so I think that it would be great if they made a concerted effort to have all the school board candidates that are for the conservative values come to the committee, hold some type of event. We allow them the ability to debate each other and tell what their actual credentials are, why they think they are the best to run, and then the committees vote on who they're going to.
You can ask questions.
Right. An open forum to be able. I mean, the way it should be: robust debate and getting the best people in front of us. If you're not prepared to come to a school board debate, then you shouldn't get on the school board.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
So we need to have high standards, but we also need to strategize. So like with the situation in Park Hill. We could have had those people come into the committee. We could have had a conversation with all of them and said, okay, here's who we're going to put our support behind. We could have voted as a committee, so we have that process. And then we would have said, okay, other persons or person, however many were left out, next year you are the ones we're going to support, right?
Yeah.
If you decide that you're going to run next year, then now we have a plan.
Right.
So instead of siphoning off votes to all these other candidates, because we just lost. We just totally lost.
Yeah.
Instead of people saying, okay, well, I'll run this year, and then so-and-so will run next year. And that's not on the candidates. I'm not saying that's on the candidates. I'm saying that's on the committee, the community.
Right.
Because we should have come together, all committees, even the ones that won. Right? I mean, that should be a best practice, I think, moving forward, where you get together and you have a strategy of who you're going to support and why, and then that goes out to everybody. Because we even had people come in, and I liked some of these, I liked all of these people, to be honest, but then there was too many candidates for said area, and they siphoned off votes. So we need to be able to really channel those votes, because the whole point was winning the school boards, not beating each other. It was winning the school boards.
Correct.
So I think that's something we should definitely look into. And remember, when you're getting on these committees, there's a lot of you out there who have found out, because now the filing date has passed and you've won because you have nobody in there. You need to start thinking about these things and forming alliances so that you can make a change next year, because we still need to take these school boards back. This never ends. Never ends.
The fight is continuous.
Agreed.
But when we bring up the rules, how you can introduce those things, building alliances is perfect. But bring it up in the committee. Bring it up and let everybody talk.
And we're actually going to talk about how to do that. actually, because I think this is huge.
The Robert's Rules.
Yes. Well, and then so because we were a little late to Facebook, I also want to give another shout out to Patriots with Grit once again, because they were phenomenal in the fact that they interviewed a ton of different school board candidates. They gave them a platform to be able to get their voice out, get their reasons for earning your vote and so on. And they did a phenomenal job. They are Patriots with Grit. You can find their page on Facebook if you type in Patriots with Grit. You can also go to patriotswithgrit.com and follow their podcast. They also are working on a Telegram channel. They have a Telegram channel, but he's getting situated. What's great about what Darren's done is he literally took this by the seat of his pants and ran with it. He had a specific idea in mind to go with entrepreneurs, like Patriot entrepreneurs, and have that conversation. Then he saw a need in the community for school board people to be able to be interviewed and so on. And so he went that route because that was what was needed. Mm-hmm. And so he really stepped up. Him and Randy both stepped up greatly, and they have a phenomenal show. They have a wonderful intro, outro. They have great quality. Almost as good as Sam's. Almost. They're doing a great job, and they're going to hold that line for the school boards. Mm-hmm. So they're going to do follow-up interviews with the winners. So winners out there, if you know winners, conservative winners who won that are Patriots that are going to take back our school boards, please reach out to Patriots with Grit, patriotswithgrit.com, or find their Facebook page and let them know that you know of some winners, some school board winners who would love to be on that show. And what we need to think of this as is this is the new media, right? So me and Darren were discussing it the other day, and he's willing to, and I think it's going to happen for him to be the platform of press releases for the school board people. Where do you go to find out what's happening in the school board? You don't.
Yeah, it's tough.
And so now he's going to have the ability to have this direct channel of communication. Izzy Imig and Jessica and Katie and all of you make connections with him, because what happens is when things are going on, you can get a blast out. You can make a press release. Give it to Darren. Let Darren put it out. Do a video. Send it to him. He can upload that. Just do a text, or whatever. Send it to him. He can put it on the Telegram channel. He can post it on Facebook. We'll pick it up and we'll share it. I'll make Sam's Daily Show share it.
Yeah.
Let's Mo Brandon will share it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long
as Brett cries.
All right, I'll work on some tears.
Okay. So, but the point is we need to strategize, okay? They're going to try and dumb us down and keep us from knowing what's going on. Patriots with Grit can be that place to go to understand what's happening specifically with the school boards, and the voice of the school board members, who can say, this is what we're facing, this is what your kids are facing, this is what's going on, we need you at the next week meeting, and he's going to show up to these meetings, he's going to be there to record stuff, interview. I mean, this is going to be a huge benefit, because we're going to transition on. We got to keep an eyes on RINOs, right? We're moving in the primaries and everything else. We do not want the schools to fall back to the wayside, because that's the most important place.
Correct.
In
and
reality,
that's what they're counting on.
Correct. They're hoping that this will all blow over.
Yeah, it'll all blow over.
No. Yeah. In Park Hill, you got another thing coming.
Yeah.
You got another thing coming.
The reckoning is still coming.
Oh, yeah. It's in full force. In fact, all everybody did was get motivated. Yeah. And all the individuals who ended up not winning those seats, you're still, I emphasize this, you still have a presence, you still have a platform, you still have people who believe in you, and you still have the ability to make a change.
Those two are not going away.
No, definitely not.
They are not going away. They are going to stay involved, and they're going to help in any way that they can.
I agree. And everybody,
they're going to be a force.
Joe Seaman, I think it is, and I forget which district, but brother, stay involved. Stay involved, because you're a righteous individual. You're standing up for the truth. You're standing up for your children, and there's still a ton of people who backed you that still want you to lead that charge. So stay involved, right? Take a break for a couple days.
Get a breather.
And get right back into the fight, because we need you.
Yeah,
we need you.
Take a little R&R in Hawaii and then
correct.
Get back to Quezon.
So patriotswithgrit.com, Patriots with Grit on Telegram, and Patriots with Grit on Facebook. So let's make sure that we are following them, because they are going to be our source for all things school board moving forward, from the conservative angle, from the save our children from grooming angle, from the angle of good, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move into legislation updates. Okay.
Let's hear it.
First,
how are we doing on that?
So we're making progress.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to give a huge shout out to Jennifer Ann Barker from Informed Health Choice Infowars. Informed Health Choice Missouri. Okay. The reason why it's so hard for me to say it is because it says IHCM. IHCM, the acronym. And so I just have a really hard time of looking at that and speaking. So Informed Health Choice Missouri. Jennifer Ann Barker, she's a wonderful patriot. That they have a team that goes through all of the legislation based on medical freedom at the Capitol and then continually keeps us updated. So I'm going to go over her action alerts for April 4th of 2022. So this was this past week, but we are moving into next week. And so it's something that we really want to focus on. Biggest thing, and the one that we talked about before, and this is a really big win. And this has given me a strategic insight, too. So HB 2009, House Bill 2009 from Patriot Susie Pollock. Remember this name. We're going to talk about her a little bit later. HB 2009 is the bill that would protect parents from vaccination mandates for either for their children in schools for either conscientious or religious reasons, meaning that you have the right to just simply decide. It's crazy because it shouldn't be a foreign thing to say, like, I just conscientious. In other words, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Done.
No, thank you.
Right? Instead of having to go through all the process that we know so many people went through for their religious exemptions at their job, it was fighting lawyers, right? It should just be able to say no. And this is what this bill would allow. Also, it would protect medical professionals from serving their patients in their patient's best interest. It's just such a wild concept, right? It's going to protect doctors and medical professionals who decide that they want to do the best by their patients. If they want to give them ivermectin or HCQ, or I keep saying dandelion juice, I'm stuck on it, or anything, they have that right.
That actually sounds tasty.
It's actually really good. It's got like this mushroom kind of flavor to it.
Yeah, I have it. But it makes you poop.
Does it?
Yeah.
My father-in-law made dandelion wine once.
Ooh.
Yeah, I came over when years and years and years ago when the missus and I were dating, and he had a white bucket, and he goes, "Brett, why don't you help me take these dandelions and pop the heads off, right?" So I started doing it, and he got up and just started doing things around the house, and come to find out, I did it all.
I did it all.
I
like that key.
Excellent work, sir. Yep. Yeah, dandelion wine, very, very sweet. I don't think it had any sort of medicinal value to it.
But it makes you poop. It makes you. It has to. I worked at GNC.
It made me drunk.
It has
to.
Yeah. Well, sure.
Yeah. Well, I worked at GNC, and they would come in, and people would be like, "I need to clear my system," and so they always told us, "Take them to the dandelion root." I think it's
it's funny. It's like that's the tea I have, the dandelion root tea.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it
I don't notice a difference. Let's just say that.
So you just drink it.
I mean, I drink a cup of that every night.
Maybe you have. Maybe you just already have.
Maybe you have a great system already.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's good to know. Thanks for bringing us down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Wow. So we changed topics tonight, folks.
Hey. Okay. So if you want to go to if you can go to GNC and get it, why can't your doctor get it to you?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Anyways.
Exactly.
So HB 2009, it was stuck. Okay, behind like 40 plus bills, and old Dean Plocker. Sorry, Susie Pollock. Pollock.
Anyways. They're close.
They are close, but one's better than the other.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah,
Pollock over Plocker all day, every day. So
day.
Dean Plocker, he's the House Floor Majority Leader for the Republican Party. Believe it or not.
He's a Republican.
RINO.
Unbelievable.
RINO.
So there's rhinos in the House of Representatives.
This is what they do. They dance around all the time like this. Huh. They're like, no one knows I'm a rhino, even though I pick everything up. Sorry.
That's RINO.
Right, Republican in name only. It's Republican not RINO.
Yeah.
It's RINO. Anyways, so this bill, it had a bunch of co-sponsors to it, right? And then, old slick Plocker, Peanut Head Plocker.
Peanut Head Plocker.
I like
there
that.
You go.
Peanut Head Plocker.
Yeah.
Because he's really proud of himself.
Uh-huh. Proud Plocker.
Proud Plocker. Mr. Proud Plocker. Mm-hmm. He went around and he started pulling co-sponsors. He started telling freshmen, which are like newbies in the House, stop acting like that, newbies. Anyways.
So,
I mean, like, I'm a freshman.
Like
you're a representative of the people.
You've been represented.
Like, I don't want somebody who can come in there and, shucks, and kick the corner and stuff. Come on, man. Stand up and be a man. God almighty.
Fight.
Stand on your morals.
I actually told somebody at a coffee shop the other day that he should get hit in the face. I think every man. I think every man.
Oh yeah. You should definitely get hit in the face at least one time.
You have brothers?
Did I have brothers?
Yeah.
No.
So you never got punched in the face?
I have been.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah. No. I've been hit in the face.
Okay.
Yeah, like several times.
That's why he's so strong now.
Yeah. Right.
So his hair is like.
Yeah. So what are you saying? Plucker needs to get punched in the face, or just every man?
Well, he was just saying in general.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In other words, to act like a man, you should get punched in the face so that you know what you're facing.
We're not condoning violence, but yes, a punch in the face will put you straight.
We're condoning manhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, all that toxic masculinity. I am, but only on Minecraft and video games.
Right.
Okay.
Well, so Plucker went around and started culling. That's a good word. Co-sponsorships. Mm-hmm. Because he didn't like the bill, I guess.
I don't understand why he wouldn't like that bill.
Well, we'll get into that in just a second, too. Okay. So he started doing that, and then we got wind of it. Mm-hmm. Can you hear that?
We should give credit. Who brought that to our attention?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
I can't tell you. But a couple people and heard about it, and then it's funny is you put a emergency notice out, and then everybody starts panicking, and it's true.
Yeah.
So we put out a video. It went viral. Well, Facebook viral. As viral as you can go in a state. But anyways, it went out, and my specific rep changed his tune because he was the one who had removed his co-sponsorship.
Yeah.
And he had actually written to one of our constituents, one of his constituents, and said, I think this is dead on the floor because of all of these, lobbyists getting involved and all this other stuff. And, this is the crap that they're trying to say. Well, if parents have the right to decide if they want their kids to have vaccines or not, they may start questioning all other vaccines. And if they do that, then all of the diseases that were dead and gone may reemerge.
That is such horseshit.
And it's fear-mongering, right?
That's all it is.
And they're like, and then this is what they're saying. Then infant and childhood mortality will rise, and so will health costs. I'm like, dude, get
they're so full.
But he was genuine in the sense. He's like, I don't think that's going to happen, but whatever. I was like, so why did you remove your sponsorship? No, never.
You didn't get a response.
It's like worried about the language. He said like somehow we have to figure out how to keep the old vaccines in place while not mandating anything. And I was like, how do you do that, bro? How do you say no mandates except for these mandates?
Yeah.
It's Anyways, the good news is it went from that to he got almost 100 emails, just him specifically, from people all over the state, which is phenomenal. Well done, people.
Yeah. Way to stay active, folks.
Way to stay active. And he put his sponsorship back on, and then he responded back and he goes, you know what? It's crazy. I think this is actually going to pass.
You think?
Yeah. So
unbelievable.
So what this should tell us is two things. The leaders in the House are crooked and in the Senate, but the leadership, the RINO leadership, is incredibly crooked. But they are dependent on the. I don't want to call them. I'm not trying to call them underlings. I really don't know another word. Can you help me?
Not underlings.
Subordinates.
Well, not even subordinates, because they don't have to answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you thinking like peasants?
No, that's us. To them, anyways.
Right.
So leadership and those who follow leadership, they are dependent on people following their orders. That's the best way to say it.
Yes.
They are dependent on people following their orders. And if you can influence, so that's really where it happens. It doesn't really happen in influencing the leadership directly, but indirectly through influencing your representatives, because that pushed him back. He said it wasn't Plucker who told him to do it. I don't know how it came about that Plucker was the one doing it, and then it happened, and then it ain't Plucker, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, then who else has that influence?
No one said nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, the point being is someone influenced him to take his name off, and then we, the people, influenced him to put his name back on. So you got to understand that is a very powerful tool. A very powerful tool. It's an email. It's a phone call. And again, I go by the idea of making templates, making an alarm, emailing, and phone calling. And once you email these people once, they're in your address book in your email.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, nickname them. Proud Plucker.
Right.
Proud Peanut Head Plucker.
Yeah.
Dave shats on me.
Oh.
On Missouri?
On Missouri, not on you. You don't want that.
That's weird.
Yeah. That's weird.
Anyways.
Sam, what are you doing? You want to take a spot?
Yeah,
Josh, go there. Man,
I will dance all over that thing. So, anyways,
you can find the trumpet button.
So, yes, I would find a trumpet button.
Yeah.
I'd make one up. There you go. Just pretend like you're pressing a button. Anyways, so the fact of the matter is if you do something, if you call, if you email, that has weight, because a lot of these people, they don't want to be, the ridiculed and the object of scorn. Right. They don't want that, and like Bratton said when he was in here before, those halls are tough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of influence, and we have to be there. We have to hold their feet to the fire. We have to be that force that they know they have to answer to, because guess what? Because these guys are caught in the middle. And if they're getting this heat from one side and it's no heat on the other side, right, what are they going to do?
Well, see, this is what that confuses me. There shouldn't be. I understand if there's lobbyists and there's heat coming from one side, but it should mean nothing to them if they stand on their principles and they're fighting for the citizens.
I agree. And that's
who are those people that have that much influence? Tell them to piss off.
Yeah, you're agreed. I wish we could see people stand and fight. What's funny is like they probably think that it's like all scary if they do it, but the rallying cry that would happen.
You're giving them the power.
Right.
The unelected the power.
Right. And not just that, like the leadership. These people acting like if Plocker going around telling people to pull their co-sponsorships, kick rocks, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Kick rocks.
I prefer pound sand.
Yeah, pound sand. I like that one too.
Yeah.
It's like doing something but not getting far.
Right.
I like that.
So why would Plocker go around and say, "Hey, so and so, remove your name"?
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So the AAP. What is the AAP?
The AAP is something pediatrics. American Association of Pediatrics.
Academy of Pediatrics. So American Academy of Pediatrics really loves Rep Plocker.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. I think it's like maybe he's getting some money, maybe he's getting some clout, maybe he's getting some protection.
Maybe.
I don't know.
What's the AAP stand for? I mean, I know the acronym, but what are their beliefs?
Here's some of the priorities.
Why do they care?
They would like to remove religious exemptions. From all vaccines.
What about conscientious?
Oh God, no. Let's not even talk about that. That's hellfire.
Uh-huh.
Remove all religious vaccines, religious exemptions on all vaccinations. Okay. They want to require more vaccines of children of all ages, including a COVID vaccine for young children. I don't know if you guys know, but that vaccine doesn't work.
It doesn't?
Well, you hear about all the
TV says it
I haven't gotten vaccinated.
Well, not all TV.
I haven't got vaccinated, and I haven't gotten COVID again. But Hillary Clinton and Psaki and Schiff and all these different people, they've gotten it again. They say, Barry.
Yeah.
Barry
Nancy,
Soetoro.
Drunk Pelosi.
Yeah. All of these people who say that they're vaxxed and boosted have gotten COVID again. And I'm just like...
Well, it would have been much worse if they didn't get the vaccine and the boost. That's why they think
maybe. Well, it's funny. It's like I didn't get the vaccine and I haven't gotten sick since.
So you didn't take the vaccine when you got sick?
No, I didn't. So anyways, the point being is, if this is a drug that hasn't been approved or anything else and they want to inject it into your babies, I don't know if you guys knew, but 61,000 millennials in 61,000 millennials in the end of 2021 died from jab-related illnesses, right? I know people don't want to talk about it.
So that we stay on Facebook. Allegedly.
Uh-huh. Right. Allegedly. I've seen these videos that allege that pro athletes are dropping to the floor, clenching their hearts for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And the only thing that they can have in common is that they all took the jab.
The other night, it's funny you should say that. The other night I watched the last 3 minutes of the basketball game, the national title game.
Yeah.
And there was a dude clutched his heart like this and went down to the ground and took him off.
These athletes have the strongest hearts.
Yeah, took him off the court. The guy was 18, 19. He's a college kid, 20 years old. Right. And the announcer came on and says, he was taken out because he was hit in the stomach. So when I get hit in the stomach, I clutch my chest as well.
I can't breathe.
Yeah. I mean, I can't breathe. They always go back and show the injury. Right. They didn't show it on this one.
Right.
They didn't show it on this guy.
Because
allegedly... He got hit in the stomach and he went down.
Well, I saw the report that there's been over 750 deaths in professional sports in this past year.
Really?
Yeah,
750. In Europe, right? That's where it's
and in America too.
Soccer.
Yeah, on the pitch is like they say, And these people, it's horrible, man. And the longer that we stay silent about this stuff, the longer it takes place. They're still having people go and get boosted. Yeah. It's coming out now that you're getting AIDS. There's
still people who are walking around with masks on.
Agreed. But see, this is the thing. That's fear. A lot of people are doing that because they are in fear, and I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. They've been induced with fear. They're not my issue. The issue is if we don't talk about what's happening with these shots, people are going to continue to die. And it's been really bad. I mean, really bad. There's evidence that the mortality rate for the millennials is up 84%. That's 61,000 excess deaths in 6 months. Do you guys understand that is a Vietnam War? That is a Vietnam War death toll. There's 58,000 people have died in Vietnam, a little bit over. 61,000 millennials have died in the second half. Right, 10 years, and this was in 6 months.
Yeah. What did Pfizer do just the other day? They just hired.
Oh yeah. So Pfizer had to come out. So 3 months after the rollout of the vaccinations, they had to hire 600 people just to process the adverse events, and that came out in
the VAERS reporting, right?
No, in their in-house.
Oh, geez.
Pfizer had to hire all these people because they're the ones controlling all that, right? That's why they didn't want to release their documentation. So this came out in their doc. So you can call me conspiracy theorist all you want. I'm gonna stay alive. They have it in their documentation. It's out. They said that was in the first 3 months. They had to immediately hire 600 people. They hired up to 1,800 by January 2021 because it got so bad, just to process adverse events.
Safe and effective.
Allegedly. So anyways, understand this is what's happening. This information is readily available. And
you're not going to see it on the nightly news.
Plocker, right, so turn it off.
Yeah.
And Plocker is trying to stop your rights as parents to not get your children injected with something that you don't believe in. Now, you got to understand, for all those people who believe in those vaccines, that's fine. You still have the right. This doesn't change your rights at all.
Correct.
All it does is preserve the rights of parents who do not want to put this in their children, who have that right to do so, right? So the AAP, they want to require more vaccines of all ages. They want to get rid of religious exemptions. They're also pro-abortion. And not just pro-abortion, they support adolescents' ability to get an abortion in confidentiality. They support your child getting pregnant without you knowing and going and destroying that child and then reaping the repercussions of that their entire life, and they don't think you have the right to know.
That's right. As parents, that's what they mean by confidential.
Right.
Parents can't know.
Right. And so that is that's Plocker. That this is the backing and the reasoning behind what he's doing. They also are anti-gun. They'd like to see certain weapons banned, right? What about the Second Amendment? Don't they understand? Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed.
They are done caring about that Constitution.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And they're also for the transgender agenda, including boys in girls' locker rooms and women's sports.
We'll get to that with these guys, too.
With these scumbags. So anyways, so HB 2009, to protecting, it's so wild, protecting doctors' rights to serve their patients in their best interest without any fear of reprisal, and then protecting parents' rights to decide if they should get injected or not for their children. No, we don't want that.
See, are we supposed to trust the doctors, or are we just supposed to trust the science?
We're supposed to trust Plocker.
Is Plocker a doctor?
Plocker knows what's needed. Dr. Plocker. There it is. Dr. Plocker, that's your new name, you scumbag.
Dr. Plocker.
Dr. Plocker. Anyways, HB 2009 is now on the informal calendar for perfections, meaning it's going to be refined. This is not over. Keep calling. Keep emailing. Do it every single day. 1 email a day as a force multiplier makes a huge difference. Get behind your specific representative. Also, email Dr. Plocker. I dare you to put that in the email.
Dr. Plocker.
To Dr. Plocker, please give us the medical freedom that we deserve. Okay? And just so you guys know, he has also been anointed to be the Speaker of the House next year after Vascoval leaves. Right? So I don't know how he got anointed. Remember we talked about this before?
Yeah.
I don't even know what oil they're using.
How all these scumbags get to that level of power?
Well, because it's a good old boys network. Governor Parson?
Oh, yeah.
Dolly. Anyway, so HB 2009 is still moving. We still need to push it forward. So please reach out and go hard at this because this is huge for us. We need to have the safety, right? Next one.
It's just another fight fight that is continuous.
Right. And just to understand, I'm not gonna assume everybody knows what's going on when you say HB, SB, or anything else. HB means House Bill. Very simple acronyms, right? House Bill. That's where it originates. SB means Senate Bill. That's where it originates, okay? So this next one is HB 1616, okay? This is very low on the House formal calendar for perfection list, okay? So what this does is this repeals Certificate of Need law. Let me get you an understanding of what this is. This is wild, okay? The certificate of need is basically if you want to spend $1 million or more on medical equipment in Missouri, so you're opening a practice, you want to get an MRI machine, whatever, all the different stuff, you have to appeal to a board that members are appointed by, I think, the House, the Senate, and the governor. So this massive power structure. And you have to appeal to them and get approval from them before you go out and buy anything.
And are these people that are on this board, I'm sure they're doctors.
I have no idea. Probably not. And what it does is, what you have to understand that it does, it crushes the free market, okay? And it makes sure that disgusting hospitals and practices that are, well, it just makes it so there's no competition. So there's a stranglehold. And then all these smaller companies, right, they know that they have to bow or kiss the ring in order to grow, right? Or so they either stay really small because they know they can't go to that height because of that. Yeah. Not because they don't have the money, but because they can't get the permission, or they don't want to bow to the regulations and everything.
Right. So to get their permission, they have to do this, or they have to do that. So strings are attached for them to be able to get medical equipment for their own practice.
So HB 1616 will repeal the Certificate of Need law, which will allow more access to health care. Okay. So that's huge. Dean Plocker, Dr. Plocker.
Dr. Plocker.
Call Dr. Plocker. Email Dr. Plocker and tell him that we want HB 1616 moving forward and brought to the House floor.
Now, is Blocker blocking this?
He is. Dr. Plocker is blocking.
Okay.
Dr. Plocker is blocking.
Okay. Who introduced that legislation? Does it say?
Van Schoak. It's VANSCHOIACK. Okay. Schoak. It's probably like shock.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
Shaka
Khan. I have to pronounce every single vowel in it.
Yeah.
Schoak.
Any sponsors on there as well?
No, just that he's the sponsor. It doesn't have any of the co-sponsors.
Co-sponsors, I mean. Yeah.
Also, another one, SB 727. So this is Onder and Moon's
Dr. Onder.
Doctor, crazy, a real doctor.
A real doctor.
Dr. Onder, doctor and a lawyer.
Oh.
Dr. Onder and...
Don't hold that against him.
Yeah, and Senator Moon's bill. So it was Senator Moon's SB 890 has been merged with Senator Onder's SB 727. And we need Pro Tem Dave Schatz to call this out of committee immediately. So it's stuck in committee. It needs to be called out of committee immediately. And this is another thing for repeal Certificate of Need law. So from my understanding, you got to think of it this way. This is a game you play. You have the House, you have the Senate. Mm-hmm. They both can pass bills, right? So, or they can get the process rolling. Because if a bill comes over from the Senate to the House, it has to be addressed.
Yeah.
Vice versa. So they play these games of blocking them. So we have to play the games of playing both houses as well. So either one will be a really big win for us if we can get Senate Bill SB 727 or HB 1616 passed on one of the houses, one of the chambers, and brought over to the other. Okay. So SB 727 repeals Certificate of Need law. Opens up the medical industry for people who want to make a real difference. Like Dr. Simone Gold from American Frontline Doctors. Yep. They want to do the gold clinics, right? The gold standard clinics where they actually treat people properly and give them good health care. They would have to bow to this Certificate of Need because they would have their offices, right, and their clinics would need good substantial equipment. They would have to go through this process. We have to have this Certificate of Neil. That's truth. Yeah. Certificate of Need repealed and done away with. We don't need a council of 7 people or 9 people telling us what we can and can't do. It's control.
Who are you?
It's control.
Yeah.
Well, remember, it's the same people who also backed Kalroff.
Yeah.
And the Test to Stay narrative and Fluidigm and Shield and all that other stuff, right? So these are monsters. Next one is HB 1686, sponsors Hardwick. Its public entities cannot require COVID vaxes, and employers must allow vax exemptions. So this would protect government employees from vax mandates and require employers to allow religious exemptions. House Bill 1686. I guess this is already over in the Senate, and it needs to come out of committee. And so they want Pro Tem Dave Schatz to call it out of committee as well. Okay. And so the thing is, guys, is understand that there's only 2 people that you need to email about all this stuff: Dave Schatz and Dean Plocker. Mr. Schatz and Dr. Plocker.
Dr. Plocker.
Paging Dr. Plocker.
So make a template and just put them on it.
Yep.
Right? And email them all. Yep. Email them in all in one, and your rep, yep. Right? And your senator and your rep.
And you can spell Schatz's name correctly if you'd like.
Yeah. Well, you spell it correctly, pronounce it correctly too. 4 different people, right? Dean, Dr. Plocker, Dave Schatz, pro temporary.
Yeah.
Semi-pro tem.
Oh, he's so temporary.
Semi-pro tem.
Yeah.
Dave Schatz, Dean Plocker, your rep, and your senator. Just put them all in one. Who cares if it's not? Oh, that's not all mine.
Yeah,
well, just read the whole thing.
Everybody has it.
Read the whole thing because it pertains to all of you. Because eventually that bill is going to come over from here to you, and you need to make sure it gets done, right? And so we want to, and then we want to also tell our reps to vote yes when it comes to the floor on all of these bills. And then the last one is HB 1692, and I like this one. This is by Rep Boggs, HB 1692. I don't know if it's a Mr. or not. Forgive me.
Here, let me find out. I got the book.
There you go.
You do your thing.
So it makes employers liable for vaccine injuries.
Okay.
So we got to understand something about this, right? It's vaccine injuries if you have mandated it to your employees in order for them to retain employment. Okay. So what we have to understand.
Seems like a crime, doesn't it?
It is a crime. It is absolutely a crime.
Against your will. We're going to put something against your will. Most places they call that rape, but here they call it law.
Right. Well, the crazy thing is, if you put something in my body without my permission, that's considered rape in most cases, right? It's as medical rape. Anyways, makes employers liable for vaccine injuries. These vaccine injuries, okay, what we have to understand is if this is what's happening with the insurance companies. Look it up, people. I dare you to look it up. The insurance companies are denying people insurance claims for the vaccine injuries, death. They're saying because it is an experimental drug, because again, even though they approved one, the one you're taking is not approved.
The one that was approved is not on the market.
It's not on the market.
Comirati,
so just know
look
that.
It up.
Right. So it's still under emergency use authorization, which means it's still experimental, which means you supposedly know and you did a informed consent to take this, and then if you die or if you get injured from it, they are denying your claims because it says it's the same thing as suicide because you knew the risk and you did it anyways. So if your insurance company has the nerve to do that, then the employees should be liable for these vaccine injuries. And really what the whole point of this is just to stop all of this nonsense right here in its tracks. Make employers liable for vaccine injuries if they mandate that you have that vaccine in order to work for them.
Yep.
Okay, and so that's on the informal House calendar. Call or email your rep and ask them to urge House Majority Leader Dr. Plocker to bring this bill to the House floor and support it as is.
Mitch Boggs. That's
Mitch
a
Boggs.
man.
All
He's
right,
got a cowboy
Mitch.
hat on.
Yeah.
I like you, Mitch.
Woo! All right,
I'm going to call you Boggs.
Mitch Boggs, yeah.
Mitch Boggs.
Representative Boggs.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Thank you,
Mitch. Boss Boggs.
Boss Boggs.
All right, there you go, buddy.
There it is. You got a nickname,
and Boss Boggs is going up against Dr. Plocker and fighting some real battles down there. So thank you all for all of you different representatives, Pollock, Van Schook, Onder Moon, Hardwick, and Boss Boggs for introducing legislation that actually makes a difference for us. Isn't it weird, like all the stuff that we faced in the past 2 years, and we don't have any election integrity bills really going through. We don't have anything about CRT or pornography in schools. And we don't have anything about medical freedoms. Why are they being stuck behind everything else? And these guys are out here like, grandstanding about the things that they're not doing.
Yeah, they're pretending nothing's wrong in the world.
Nothing's wrong in the world, guys.
Nothing's
going on.
Sky's
not falling. We're not going crazy. Anyways.
I don't think there is anything wrong with the world. I mean, 60 million abortions since Roe v. Wade. What's wrong with that?
Well said.
Majority in the black community, right?
Yeah.
In
fact, I think in New York City, more black children are murdered through abortion than born.
I actually know that statistic. It's 4 out of 5.
So you would think that
black babies are aborted in New York.
Yeah. You would think that Planned Parenthood would be considered
crazy. Democratic Party. I thought they were for the minorities.
Yeah.
But they did found the KKK.
Yeah, and they had slaves.
Oh, and then they also did the welfare state. They created the welfare state, which demolished.
Well, they had the Dixiecrats. And then Lyndon Johnson. Sam, could you Google Lyndon Johnson? He was the president.
He was.
I would, but I'm still trying to make you cry.
This will make me cry.
Okay.
This will make me cry.
So
perfect. I'll get on it.
Yeah. Lyndon
Johnson said that he was going to get the black vote, and he said it in a very derogatory way for the next 100 years?
200 years.
200 years by creating the welfare state.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Once he signed it. Yeah.
Right.
It is quoted as him saying.
But we're the racists.
But yeah.
It's ridiculous. These people are wicked. I mean, beyond wicked.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that's the legislation update for medical freedoms. Thank you so much, Jennifer Ann Barker, and Informed Health Choice Missouri. I had to close my eyes. Well, I should.
Acronyms don't do well.
I know, but I like it because now I'm like visualize. I know what that is. And I really just, when I see it, I think of Jen and not the whole name, so maybe I do need to type it out.
Yeah.
Okay, next update, ranked choice voting.
Let's hear it.
It's like stank choice voting. We should call it stank choice voting equals ranked choice voting, stank choice voting. We should come up with a little song so we remember.
Before you get started, someone told me that there was a petition going around at one of the polling places, and of course it infuriated him, but he was also encouraged because nobody had signed it.
Right, which is great.
Was awesome.
It is absolutely awesome because and what's so sad is the people that are helping with this, they're just completely naive to it.
They have no idea
because they just want to help. And so they are getting on board and they're ready to do whatever is necessary.
We're gonna have clean, friendly elections, and
right?
Campaigns
and so they get on and
always tugging on the heartstrings.
Right, and so they get on and they feed them all of this BS, and then from that they think they're going to make a difference, right? So I have somewhere on here. So I signed up for Better Elections as a volunteer so they could get all their announcements, right? And so now they're like. So what they do, and they're very well organized. I mean, very well organized. And so
probably coming directly from the DNC.
Oh yeah. Well, and okay, so remember guys who's behind this, Hancock and Prouty, Kehoe, who just announced his candidacy for governor. Right? Kehoe's been paying Hancock, the guy who signs his name in block letters, and Prouty, he paid him $36,000 this last year to keep them on retainer, I guess you could say. They're the ones being paid by Better Elections. They got $10,000 to push the Better Elections crap, right? The ranked choice voting, the stank choice voting. And then the Republican State Committee, led by Dolly Parson, gave Hancock and Prouty $20,000. If you guys don't think this is a good old boy network, y'all need to wake up.
Wow.
Right? So Hancock and Prouty is the middleman, or is the pusher. The pusher. And then Parson, through the Republican State Committee, gave him $20,000.
Yep.
Right? Or he's
the supplier.
He's not the supplier. He's the financer.
Okay.
Kehoe gave him $36,000.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And then Better Elections is the supplier. They bringing in the dope. Right. Yep. Gotcha. And so they brought the dope in, but so they're funneling the dope through Hancock and Prouty, and then Kehoe's paying Hancock and Prouty, and so is the Republican State Committee. That's weird.
What in the hell is going on with you people?
Oh, they're liars and thieves. Liars and
How
thieves.
do you sleep at night?
You were a devil just like your father.
Yeah. Isn't old Dolly, isn't he a proud Christian? At least that's what his website says.
I mean, look, man, you judge a tree by its fruit. Yeah. His fruit's rotten.
Yeah.
God, he's got remember Dopey? Not Dopey. What's the dog?
Droopy.
I'm
Droopy.
My God. I forget. I think it was Chris
Hemsworth.
No. That's no.
Hayes.
No, he's my buddy on Facebook. I'm sorry, Chris. I can't. I don't want to say. I always have this like second guessing that I'm going to say your last name wrong, so I won't say it because that's more offensive than not saying it. Anyways, Chris.
And for all those
Chris with a K is my buddy. He's got chickens. Okay, and I was commenting on how I can't wait to have chickens too. But anyways, Chris, he was the one who posted that picture of Droopy on Governor Parsons, one of his posts, and it was, oh my God, it was hilarious. Anyways, he looks like Droopy.
Yeah. Tex Avery cartoons.
So they're funding this Better Elections trash, right? Because, we're not funding. No, not directly. Indirectly you are, because you are funding the people pushing it.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason why is because Kehoe can't win the election. He can't win the election if this Better Election crap goes, or unless this Better Election ranked choice, stank choice.
Because the better candidate will be voted out.
Correct.
Because of the ranked choice.
Right, because no one cares about Kehoe. Yeah. He's the middle guy. He's that fat dude in the middle. He's a used car salesman. Yeah. And my dad used to be a used car salesman. He was way cooler than Kehoe.
I don't know very many used car salesmen.
Kehoe, Dodo. What do we call Kehoe?
Kehoe. I don't think he's earned a nickname.
Key lime, Kehoe pie.
Kehoe the Dodo.
Yeah. Kehoe the Dodo.
Kehoe the Dodo.
Dodo Kehoe. I don't know. We're going to work
on that. We'll
work on it. Anyways,
maybe they could comment below what.
Yeah,
Kehoe.
Comment below with a nickname for
Kehoe.
Kehoe, Neho, Rito. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, So he's running for it. No one cares about him. He'll be right in the middle. Fat boy right in the
middle. He'll be like other Shats.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Like others. Yeah. But then because ranked choice voting is made and designed for others like Shats, he'll get propped up and he'll get the votes. And then he'll win, and then Missouri will go to hell even further if that's the case. So stand up to that. Stand up to that better elections. When you see that out there, please start educating your friends and family too on what this is, right? Because they only need 8% of the vote right now, or 8% signatures. Yeah. And if they get it, then it will go on the ballot. And if it goes on the ballot, we will vote it down. We cannot afford to lose this one. I'm telling you guys.
Because it'll be there come 2024.
Correct.
If it gets voted in
Correct.
November,
and it will be very dangerous for the rest of our existence. And then if we get that, and then the initiative petition thing passes, and then we need a whole nother amount of people to get it, it's just a bad situation, right? So anyways, Kehoe, he's lame duck, and he is supporting Hancock and Prouty for better elections, and so is our state Republican Party, which is phenomenal, through Dolly Parton's leadership.
Is there a head person of the state Republican Party?
Dolly Parton, but then there's a chair. We should look
the
that
chair.
person
Who's
up.
the chair?
I don't know. I'm going to look that up real quick.
So we got Dolly. Dolly won't come on our show.
Right.
Maybe we get the chair.
Yeah, let's find out.
We'll make him stand because he's not getting this chair. And speaking of chairs, are you guys able to see this chair that Sam got me? I mean, boy, this is something. Not to me.
You can kind of see it.
You can kind of
see it.
Well, Sam went to the old folks Goodwill and found a chair with my name on it, man. He did all
Actually,
that.
I was at your grandmother's last night, and
you know something.
Woo!
I tell you what. You want to make me cry? You're
okay.
Yeah?
Nick Myers elected Missouri GOP chairman. Hey, Nick, is that recently? I'm gonna make sure. That's February 5th, 2021. And look at this guy. He looks real good. He looks great.
What's with the flag on the right-hand side? Is that his thing that he boosted, or is that just happening?
Just find us on Facebook.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, so Missouri Republican State Committee today unanimously elected Joplin area CPA Nick Myers as chairman, and leading the party through the 2022 elections. Yeah, so yeah.
Nick Myers.
Joplin, Missouri. So Nick, did you approve the money to go to Hancock and Prouty? That $20,000.
Yeah, did you rubber
Did you know that Better Elections was
it?
doing it? Did you know that, buddy?
Yeah.
Because I know how it works in the chair. I know what you guys do. You call everything to the floor for a vote. Did you take orders from your buddy Dolly?
Is that somebody that we can write and call?
I don't know. I don't know. I gotta find his information. Anyways, we'll just keep moving on because he's not really worth the time just yet.
Yeah.
Nick Myers, though, I want you all to know his name. Nick Myers elected Missouri GOP chair, and he is the one that runs the committee. And they gave $20,000 to Prouty and Hancock, who are also the pushers for the dope that is ranked choice voting. Anyways,
now, if I find out about anything that any more information, should I just take that and then just post it to my Facebook, or is there anybody that I could send that information to who could make that publicly known?
You could send it to us.
Yeah?
Yeah. Info at Missouri Rhino Watch or MoRhinoWatch.com. You could post it on our Facebook group. You could send us a message. You could like, share, and subscribe.
Ding.
Beat him to it. We're better at him than this now. Better at this than him.
Ding.
So ranked choice voting. It's out there. They're looking for signatures. They are working hard to get signatures. You need to educate the people offering the signatures. Say, hey, did you know that Australia had this? And they actually had a conservative majority, but then they got put on lockdown and people are dying because of it. I mean, I don't know if you know that.
We got to really keep it local at an elevator pitch, right? To those people who are looking for signatures, because they're probably just working just because.
They are, yeah.
Right?
Most of them
they don't know much about it.
Nope.
But you can make a statement if you could educate them on ranked choice voting right on the spot, and they drop that petition, or they just simply rip it up.
Yep.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Catch it on fire. Keep yourself warm.
Right. Just carry lighters. Let me see that.
Give them a lighter so you don't burn it. They burn it.
Yeah. Here, this is what I would like you to do. I'd like you to take this lighter and set yourself free by firing up this petition because it is from the pits of hell.
Yeah.
Okay, so
is that against the law? I mean, is that like
if they do it, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean, as long as you don't forcefully do it, and it's like, hey, I got a lighter.
Right. Because then you could be considered an arson. You
I got
catch them on fire.
Right. All kinds of different things go around. So
you
let them.
We don't condone violence.
Let them burn it. Because I think if you educate them, they'll burn it.
Yeah.
Or you could always carry a candle.
I think we should just burn it all down on World of Warcraft.
Right. I get what you're doing there. That's slick. Brett has no idea what World of Warcraft is.
Yeah, what is World of Warcraft?
It's a video game.
I was fighting for your freedom while you were playing for that.
Well,
in high school, guys. He was in high school.
We will talk about your grandmother's house after this.
Yeah, we have to. Haven't seen my grandmother's house in years.
All right, so moving on. So ranked choice voting, they're out there, they're getting signatures. Please inform people. We have videos on Rumble in this vicinity. In this vicinity on Rumble. If you're on Facebook, go to Rumble. And you can actually see that there. And I think in a prior post, I put the Rumble link so you can go there. Anyways, we have videos about ranked choice voting, gives an explanation.
And the full episode of this is on Rumble.
Yes, and the full episode of this is on Rumble too, because we came in late because Sam was so on point.
So if they're on Rumble, they can like,
share.
And
well, it's actually called Rumble.
Rumble. Oh, you
hit
can rumble.
That fist.
Yeah. Punch
fist
your computer.
Punch it. Punch that fist on the computer. And then share it. Comment.
With all your pals.
With any kind of nicknames that you have for Kehoe. I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Make them good, too.
Make them really good.
Yeah.
Better than Kehoe the Dodo. I think that there's something
I do like
better
Kehoe
than
the
that.
Dodo. That's kind of fun.
Kehoe the Dodo. Not bad. Not bad.
Okay,
we'll
so
write it down, though.
All right, so we're rolling on. Jeez. Yeah, we need to roll on. So we're also going to talk about next show, initiative petition. That's a lot to unpack right now, so we're not going to go over it tonight. I had a really good conversation with somebody on Facebook. Still having that conversation, so sir, keep it up. And I would like to continue that dialogue. And we want to unpack it for everybody so you can make the best decision based on your logic and reasoning. Now we're going to move into Central Committee preparation. Listen, we've talked about this multiple times. I know there's a bunch of people who are on the committee now because no one ran against you, and then maybe some of you that are running as well. So what we're going to talk about is once you get on, the things you want to focus on, or what you want to focus on before you get on, is two things: Robert's Rules for Order and your committee's bylaws. And you can find ours. We found ours on our website because we have a pretty good website, and people who care, sometimes you just have to go to a meeting and get them.
Yeah.
And so just go to the meeting, show up, and say, I would love a copy of the bylaws.
Ask for them, they'll give them to you.
Right. If they don't, red flag.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Let
you
us
better
know.
get involved. Yeah, let us know, and we will gladly call them out.
Yep.
Gladly call them out. So anyways, find out the bylaws. And okay, so what you have to understand is what this does is this creates the framework that you can work in, okay? So Robert's Rules of Order, what you have to understand, what most people don't know is when you're going to a meeting, you are actually involved in a process. It is actually a process of doing business. It is literally considered a business meeting. When you get into it, you have basically a review of the minutes from the prior meeting. And what minutes are is just a breakdown of what you talked about in the prior meeting. You then approve those as a committee to put those into the record, or disprove, say, oh, no, there's a mistake here. Somebody's name is entered wrong, or we didn't talk about that, and whatever. And then you move into the Treasury report usually, and then you move into new business or old business.
New business.
And then and basically that's anything that the chair needs to bring up or anybody else has brought up. So I've done this multiple times. Reach out to your chair and say, I would like some time on the schedule, on the agenda. And then if they can fit you in, which they should be able to, they'll put you on the agenda. You'll be a part of new business. They'll also ask after the new business, before you move into the other stuff, is there any more discussion, any more announcements? Or they should. If they don't, then you can call point of order. Point of personal privilege.
Privilege.
This is what the Robert's Rules of Order are all about. So you can raise your hand and you can inject something if you want to. So in other words, maybe you're showing up to the committee and the committee's got a whole agenda of whatnot, whatever, right? And whatever that may be, that's fine. But then you say, you know what? I would like to recommend an action, a new idea or a proposal. You raise your hand and say, Chair, I'd like to be recognized.
The chair will recognize you.
Right, because you are a committee member.
Right.
And you can also, just like you've seen, I don't know if you've seen in a lot of these committee meetings on C-SPAN, but you can, what's the word? Give your time to someone else. What is that called?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I forfeit my time, or not.
Yeah.
Or I transfer my time to.
Yeah, you basically
the gentleman, Joshua Lane.
Right. So you have that right as a committee member to speak.
Yeah.
And then you can give that. To somebody else as a proxy, even if it's a visitor, right?
Sure.
Somebody has something they want to tell you, want to teach somebody about something, you got some news or whatever, you can do that, okay? So the point is when you say that you want a new proposal or idea, so you present your motion, and a motion is just think of it, movement. You're bringing a movement, you're bringing a change to the floor. And the floor just means you have the floor. When someone says you have the floor to speak, that's what it means. It's that environment. So
But be brave. Be free.
Yes, it is nerve-wracking, but be brave.
Exactly. But if you have something to say, you have every right to bring it to the floor.
Right.
And trust me, people are going to want to hear it.
Yes. And you know what? You're actually going to encourage more people to do the same thing.
Exactly.
You'll be surprised how many people actually are like for you. Yes. When you do these kind of things, because they want to do it too. They're just scared as well.
Yeah. They're there for a reason.
Correct. And some of them don't even know why they're there. They're like, I know I'm supposed to be here. I don't know what the heck's going on. Yeah. Can we get things to pass? Why aren't we talking about things that matter? Mm-hmm. And that's because you're not speaking up. That's really what it boils down to.
And if you have no idea what to say, what you could say is something along the lines of, check out MissouriRhinoWatch.com for more information.
Right. Like, share, and subscribe.
No, I was just kind of being serious.
I was being serious. Yeah. So
I second that.
If you want to do that, that's fine. Right? You could do that. Yeah. So, and that's the thing too. You have to have a second. So the way it works is you have the right to bring something to the floor, but if you want to, so basically, I would say, Mr. Chairman, I have a motion I'd like to bring to the floor, and he would give me
Am I the chairman in this?
Yeah, you're the chairman.
The chairman.
And then so Sam gives me the floor. So, okay, go ahead. You have the floor. You may speak.
You have the floor.
And so I would like to bring a motion to the floor to censure Dr. Plocker.
Point of order. I can say that, right?
I mean,
if I'm a member. Point of order.
Whoa.
Oh, I meant to say second.
Yes. So, and then the chairman would say, okay, do we have a second?
Do we have a second?
Anybody want to second that? And then someone will second it, which means I agree. I put my support, my sponsorship behind it. And then now that goes into an open debate. Okay. So now everybody's like, all right, well, now it's a legitimate claim, a legitimate idea. Let's bring it to the floor. And let's bring it to the floor to discussion. And now we can have discussion. And if no one rises in opposition saying, Point of order.
Point of order.
I love Dr. Plocker.
Yeah.
I've been in a house for 45 years, and I love Dr. Plocker.
Right.
Okay, if you don't have any Nancy Pelosi's issue committee, or whatever that dissent, and then if they do dissent, you can still have debate.
Sure.
That's what we're founded on is robust debate. So you can have that conversation, and then at the end it goes to a vote, right? And if it gets passed, it's done. So, and then through the debate time too, you can also okay, I like that, but I think we should change said word. Like, let's add a word, let's strike a word, take it out, or let's strike and insert a different word. So it's very particular.
Inalienable.
Malleable, yes. Malleable.
Yeah. Well, they did that in the founding. Like, they were looking at inalienable.
Oh, inalienable. I thought you said malleable. I was like, that's malleable.
Yeah.
But yes, it's inalienable.
You can have that debate.
Yes. And you should, because this is your country.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is your state, and this is things that happen.
This is your county. This is your committee.
Right.
You are on it. You are a member.
And like Mr. Putnam said last time he was on, and he referred to Jefferson saying that the biggest guardian against tyranny are these small wards and townships, or your committees, giving you the ability to put in a framework or put in ramparts against the tyrannical acts of an overreaching government, right? And so the point is you have the ability to bring it to the floor. What you need to understand is how the structure and the framework works. If someone's trying to steamroll you, right, and they're just saying, hey, after the August elections or whatever, and it's the first new committee meeting, and they say, okay, we're going to go right in, and we're going to suspend the rules, and we're going to move forward with this slate of candidates, and all right, any objections, say aye, moving it forward, say point of order. Point of order.
Stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, hold on.
Or her.
Because what they would be trying to do, if that's the scenario, they're trying to reinstall the same leadership as before, and if you don't get in front of it, you're just going to be there like, what just happened? So and then for the next 2 years, you do not have that authority.
Another reason to get with the people who are getting on the board, maybe the new people, build those allies.
Right.
So you have those
especially
numbers.
If you find people, especially if like husband and wife, huge benefit there.
Yes.
Because you guys can strategize before you even go and know what you're going to do, and you have that second voice, which is a very strong standpoint. Or you get a friend. But when you get there, it's really important. That's why I think it's even more important now to go now before then. Do not wait.
Yes.
Do not walk in there. Yes.
You can
last
walk
minute.
in without being a member.
Absolutely. As a guest all the time.
I'm a captain.
You are a precinct captain. That's right.
Yeah. I don't wear a hat,
and we created Jim Rooney created precinct captains in ours, which are basically backups for when the committee members in that precinct are out, and you hold that proxy vote, and you kind of like step in if they get taken out. So it's like you're the apprentice per se of said committee member. So make sure that you study Robert's Rules of Order. Make sure that you study your bylaws, because that, again, Robert's Rules of Order tell you how to do something, how to get something done. Your bylaws tell you the framework of what's allowed and what's not allowed. So if you're trying to come in and spend money on shutting down the local McDonald's, that's a good cause, but your bylaws won't allow for that, right? Mm-hmm. So it's based on what is the focus, and get creative. There's all kinds of cool things you want to do. If your job as a committee member and a committee is to get out the vote and get the right people in office for you, then you could say, I want to bring a motion to the floor to spend money on a billboard for Corey Terrell for school board. Somebody seconds it. Now it's coming up for a debate, right? Well, how much is it going to cost? What's it going to be? All this other stuff. Then you put it to a vote, and guess what? If the money's there and the majority is for it, you got a billboard,
right?
So you got to think outside of the box. You've got to be creative. You do not have to go in and wonder if it's allowed or not. If you know the bylaws and if you know the process of the rules of order, then you will have the ability to go in and make changes that you think are necessary. Now, of course, you're going to need the approval of the majority of the committee, right? A simple majority. But if you're bringing good ideas to the table, don't be afraid to lose. Don't be afraid to debate. Right. Come in there with an open mind and a desire to get to a good result, regardless.
It makes it for a healthy committee to have those open debates, and it's not a snooze fest.
Correct. Because if you go in there now,
and you're spending time out of your day, out of your life to make a differess, go in there.
Yeah. Why are you there? If you're not going to try and make some changes, if you're not going to try and shake things up, why are you there? Right. Think about Governor DeSantis, right? He could be Governor Dolly Parson if he wanted to, where he doesn't do anything. He just sits around and takes pictures, looking all droopy. Or you could actually be proactive and aggressive towards a righteous cause and get things done.
Yeah.
And that's the way you make your voice heard. That's the way you get things done.
But he has no honor, so he's not going to do
that.
So going back to the committee real quick, there was, you guys had a vote, 5 months ago to censure someone.
Censure, yeah.
Yeah. So what was that? How did that go about? Who introduced it? Walk us through the steps. Show the power that they have on the committee.
Yeah, so and this was a really good one. So this was Dave Schatz. This was after he passed the gas tax, and he did it illegally through the Hancock Amendment. He voided that with his plausible deniability of giving a refund that no one's actually
still
can't access right now. So what happened is, actually, it's so funny, is his own county, his own committee was the first to censure him. It's just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And then Jackson County did it. And then Jim Rooney, our old chair, he brought that to the floor. So he had an example of it, and then he had the wording, and then he said, this is the censorship that happened, and this is how we want to write it. And what was great about it is, it was basically saying, like, we won't support you in anything that you do, whether it be state appointed position or a national or federal position. And obviously, right, he's in the other category for Senate right now, U.S. Senate.
And that's why.
Right.
He's in the other because he has no support.
Because he has no support. He had multiple committees censure him. Shats him. He's been shat on by his constituents. Mm-hmm. And so therefore we've... What?
Oh, it was just a funny.
Oh, okay. You were late.
Yeah. Oh, like a burn?
It was there was a little bit of delay in Sim's reaction.
Yeah, it's the microphone.
It took a while to
that's
get
why
through
we
the
needed the
blood-brain barrier. Yes. Well, he's got him on.
That's what I mean.
So we need him
so he can hear
us
so he can hear it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the point being is you have to know the rules, and then if you can do that, you can censure people. You can cut them off at the knees. If you have a RINO in your committee, right, and they're a RINO and they're doing these horrible votes, censure them. Bring it to the floor. Put out a press release. There's all kinds of different stuff you can do, right? Put up a billboard sign. Put a billboard sign about them.
Yes.
RINO Plocker. Right? If you're in the committee for Plocker, put up a billboard sign. Vote on it. Think that won't do some work? You think that wouldn't put people, pucker their derriere?
Pucker their Plocker?
Pucker their Plocker. Oh, my God. That's so funny.
I just had a spasm in my neck. That's not funny.
Okay, so if you want to pucker their Plocker, God, that's good.
That's good.
That's going to stay for a while.
Yep.
If you want to plucker their Plocker, then you can make moves.
Yeah.
But you have to know how it works.
This is how you can fight.
And if you really are serious, get with your committee, get with the people that you know. Go to the committee and ask around and say, I want to know who here is going to be on next committee. Just stand up, be brave. Who here is going to be on next committee and is looking to make change? Guaranteed, if they're new people, they're there to make change.
Yeah, they are.
And you guys can form an alliance and work together. And then you can make a difference. And then we, as outside, like other committees adjoined, can be an alliance of committees. But you have to have a conservative patriot alliance in your committee, and then we have to take those alliances and branch them out into other committees. And so when you do something great, you can share it with us, and we can do it, and then we can share it. And then the next thing you know, there's 50 blocker signs on all over the place.
That is the goal, to unite the committees around the entire
the conservative party,
right?
The Republican Party, which is
in the
party
state of Missouri, unite.
Correct.
Unite.
So,
unite.
And we'll maybe do some more examples. I would love if you guys would send us some emails or comment below or send me a message on Facebook or Telegram or whatever with ideas of good movements or motions to bring to a committee floor. How can we change things? This is the framework and the easiest way. We're here to hold representatives accountable and get the right representatives elected and get out the vote. Those are the three things, right? Be creative all inside that box. A lot of these committees have a lot of money, not a lot of money, but more money than I have in my bank to be able to expend. Right. And you can do things. You can also come up with ideas for fundraisers.
Sure.
Right? So maybe you come up with an idea for having a really cool band, a biker band or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But have a band come and play and then, have your own Lincoln Day or something like that. But do not sit around. Get involved. Stay involved.
Don't wait for the elders to lead.
Right.
You go in there, you have a voice. Just like a freshman in the House of Representatives for the state.
Right.
Yes, this is your first year. Yes, you're technically called a freshman, but you have power.
You do. You have the power of your people, your constituents. Use it. Get out and utilize us too.
Sure.
Utilize Patriots with Grit. Utilize these different Patriot media outlets to get your message out.
That's right.
Send us a message.
He really likes Dandelion Root.
Who, Patriots with Grit or Plucker?
Shats.
Boy, you are not on top of it today. Your timing is a little off today, Sam.
It's like,
it's the earphones. He's just now getting it. He just got the gas tax shots.
Yep.
Dandelion.
He was like, you know what, Dandelion? She's like, I'm gonna bring
it up.
Bad one to him. So I'm glad that you're thinking that way.
Yeah,
he's good. Yeah. It's good.
Dandelion root.
Dandelion
root
makes
you want to poop.
You know what we should do? We should take some to Shats. But this is the thing. It's really good. It's a really good supplement, and I don't want to waste it on him.
He doesn't deserve it.
Maybe we'll just get him.
He's a straight shooter.
You know what
anyway.
I do? Once I get finished with the bag that I have, I'll just send it to him.
There you go.
And inside of it, it'll say, "Ha, you suck."
You get it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I am a little bit off, aren't I?
Yeah. It's because you know what? He cut off all his brains.
Yeah.
All his hair, all his brains. Remember what happened to Samson?
Don't remind me of that.
Yeah,
that was like the one thing why I didn't want to cut it.
Right. Well, you sinned against God.
You're good. Sam's a sinner, folks.
Sam's a sinner.
Okay. But like and subscribe.
Yes, but like, share, and subscribe if you want to see his hair continue to grow.
Ding.
Because it will grow.
Yes.
Okay, so Central Committee, get prepared, make alliances, study Robert's Rules of Order and your bylaws, and get creative. Start writing notes now. You know when somebody I love to death that's phenomenal is Barbara Whittington, a.k.a. Deplorable Truck Driver.
Oh,
she's solid. So this lady, she's amazing. First of all, she's a huge supporter, and she's also an activist. She's out in the boondocks, and she's created Backwoods Conservatives. And I think RINO Gannon, that's why she calls her RINO Gannon, so that's why I can remember.
Yeah,
RINO Gannon is her senator, and she's been calling her out left and right. Well, guess what? She was emailing Gannon and writing her, and she wouldn't answer her. So she formed Backwoods Conservatives, and now she's got like 43 members.
Nice, and they're all writing Gannon?
Well, she goes, so smart. She goes around and she gets their signatures. Okay. She writes something up on a letter and gets everybody to sign it.
Nice.
And then sends it to her, and guess what? RINO Gannon called her. I'm telling you.
Called her directly?
I'm telling you. Yeah, called her back. And
did she call her Mrs. Deplorable? Or Mrs. Trucker?
I don't know. I don't know. Barb is what I call her because she's my friend.
Right.
I love her to death. She's been a wonderful. I love you, Barbara. You've been a wonderful, wonderful patriot to be a part of, to have on our team. That's the thing, though. She's creative. She does things. She gets things done, right? She sat in a store, a local store, okay, with her paper and signatures or a pen to sign. And as people came into the local store, she was explaining to them what the hell was going on down in Jeff City and saying, "Are you for this or against it? If you're for us going after him or whatever, sign this here and I'm going to send it out."
Wow.
Get things done.
What did Gannon say? What was the phone call? Can you give details?
Nah, she just.
Well, she made action. She called. That's
yeah.
The
well, I mean,
she
just. Well, the same things that they give us all the time. Well, that's not the way it goes. You don't really understand.
Pat them on the head.
Right, all that trash.
Yeah.
So, but what's funny? And this is how smart Barb is. She wrote her and she said, "I would like you to put this in writing." And Gannon said, "Well, this is so important. I wanted to call you. I didn't want you to wait for me to write it and send it to you."
She's very thoughtful.
So Barb knows you got to put that in writing, because once you put it in writing, I got your ass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Gannon was like,
up.
"I'm not going to put it in writing." But she calls and says, like, it was so important and so timely that I wanted to make sure I called you. So well done on you, Barb. Keep up the fight. You're doing a wonderful job. Once you get your website up, you may already have it up. Forgive me. But once you get your website up, we're going to promote the hell out of it on the show, because you're doing a great thing and we are proud of you. And
she could be a friend of the show.
She is a friend of the show.
Ding.
Ding. She's a huge friend of the show.
Nice.
She's actually one of our main supporters.
Nice.
You keep this show going, Barb. Appreciate it.
Nice.
By the way, everybody, we do need sponsors. This show costs money. We don't make money or profit off of this show.
We don't?
We don't. Sam has to keep these lights on. I don't know if you see how bright these lights are.
Oh, yeah,
see
there's
how
one
they're
light
shining
off
on my head right here?
Yeah.
If you want this shine to stay, we need your support. Is that fair to say?
What?
Okay.
Good. He's on it.
No,
He's with
yeah,
it.
yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah.
Seriously, though.
I mean, we could. Here's the thing: is that it'd be cool to have just have somebody run an audio back here too. If anybody's
I mean,
interested
truly,
in, like,
everything that every bit of donation goes to keeping this drive alive. Not just this specific show, but all the content that goes into it. The money it takes to drive out to Jeff City. I don't know if y'all have seen gas prices lately.
Yeah.
And also
he did that.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna start now that it's warm. Well, it's going to be shortly. It's going to stay warm. We're going to start going out and doing man on the street stuff.
Yep.
Right? So we're going to be interviewing people on the streets.
Are you going to the Pride Festival?
No.
Okay, I'll be doing the same thing, and I'll be going to that Pride Festival. And
that might be fun.
What's that?
To go to the Pride Festival and see, get it straight from the. I don't want to say horse's mouth because that seems.
I'll say it straight from the horse's mouth.
Right, straight from the gay community, and see how they feel about the shenanigans that are happening down in Jeff City. That might be freaking amazing.
Me.
Yeah.
Wait. Point again.
It's funny. Pull it back at the right time. Put your watch on. Okay. Anyways, no, that's actually a really good idea.
He's like, what are you? What do you?
He can't see the screen. That's
I
why.
can't see the screen.
I'm
lost.
So when I point, he finishes the point with his.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He just doesn't have a watch on, so it wasn't convincing.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so we may do that. Anyways, the whole point is every bit of money that is donated to us, it goes back into this cause. Truly, we actually want to do a tour through the state. And not like this grand tour or anything else, but just like go down to committees in different areas and bring information and video and do all kinds of different stuff. Every time we get the opportunity to video or record an event or anything, like we did the doctor's symposium, the COVID symposium.
Yep.
We try to bring that information to everybody, right? We want to go down to Jeff City and love to hound the crap out of these rhinos and ask them great questions and get their reactions on tape.
Visit them in local watering holes.
Visiting them
Have
in
a
the
good
local
day,
watering
gentlemen.
holes. Yeah. We actually want to dress up as bums and catch them leaving and going into the debauchery apartment and getting it on film. I'm just saying.
There's a.
We really want to go hard on this.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are kind of in the mix too. Like if I may.
Sure.
Yeah. So
you may.
What?
It hasn't stopped you so far.
I know. Hit the button, Sam.
Yeah, hit the button, Sam. Have we lost our audience yet?
I know they're there.
Okay, good.
Actually, there's plus 10 as soon as I'm on camera for some odd reason.
That is odd.
He's got it gamed.
But what
substanceless.
Must be the pride suggestion.
Easy. Again, you're gonna make me cry. But what I was gonna say is that we're looking to have some even concerts. Like my team's looking to have some musicians that are like McDonald. What's his first name? Tom McDonald, Bryson Gray.
Awesome.
Have you familiar?
Yeah.
And having them come to Kansas City and perform.
Yeah.
And then doing sit down and interviews, and then they would not only be on this show.
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show. Friends of the Sam Daly Show, but then also we would seek to, and this may be big news for you. I'm doing this on air.
Yeah.
Let's get a live reaction from this. I'm talking about like we got a guy who's in booking, and they're going to be coming to Thursday, and then Thursday night we're going to give them a place to sleep, and then they're going to be on this show.
Good.
So
that's solid.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
rock
here
and
are
roll,
big
man.
plans
Rock
here.
and roll.
Truly.
Excellent.
So if you believe in the things that we're doing, if you think that the information that we're bringing you is actually valuable, help us keep doing it. We all have full-time jobs, so this is not something we're looking to make a living off of. If it grows into the fact that we could make a living off of it,
we'll take $1 million.
We'll take $1 million.
But we're not asking for it.
We're not asking for it. We'll take $1 million though.
Yeah.
We could do a lot with $1 million. That's for sure.
Parsons, Dolly,
you got $1 million.
Stop
talking about
what
you.
Do you say? I'll call you by your real name.
I'll take your money and then do the opposite. The way you do your constituents.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so anyways,
no, Dolly earned that.
Dolly earned that. If you want to support the show, you can do it by going to our website, morhinowatch.com, and then write down 3/4 of a scroll on your mouse scroller.
What's it say on there? It says like donate.
Donate. Join the fight.
Donate
the fight.
Donate.
Join,
and it's red.
Donate. It's red, and it goes to Give Send Go because we don't do the. What's the other one? I don't even remember.
Patreon.
No, don't
locals?
patronize me.
What's the other one?
No. I can't say what I just thought. I don't know. Give Send Go. It's the only one. GoFundMe.
Yeah.
The GoFundMe.
Fund.
Yeah, go fund yourself.
Me. So, so screw them. We don't do anything with them because they're jerks and they take money from truckers fighting for freedom. We love Give Send Go. They're amazing. So they are the ones who are sponsoring or holding our page. They did. They sent. Not only did they send prayers for or scriptures, they actually called me and prayed over my campaign.
Wait, Give Send Go?
Give Send Go called me and prayed over for success on my campaign and God's blessings. That's amazing.
Was that a collect call?
It wasn't a collect call.
You accept the charge?
It wasn't a collect call. It was a landline.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
I think. Anyway, so Give Send Go, you can find it on the website, and we would appreciate that very much. And lastly, we're going to roll into the RINO primaries. We are on like a very tight timetable, so we're probably going to have to pop all these open next time.
Yeah, we can't, because we got a whole list here, and
right.
I don't want to gloss over it.
We have Justin Yayo Brown. We're going to expose him. We have Mike Searpoint. We have Bill White.
Yeah.
Bill White. And then we also have Lincoln Ho.
Huff.
Lincoln Huff.
It rhymes with tough, Josh,
but
he's not.
But not tough.
Yeah.
Have a good day, gentlemen. Anyways, so let me just give you an understanding. Okay, Justin Brown is being primaried by Susie Pollock. Let me remind you who Susie Pollock is. She's the wonderful representative who introduced HB 2009, who thinks that your children, or you deserve the right to decide what goes into your children's body as far as medicine.
No, you have the right.
You have the right.
She's just going to have that.
She's
going to
make sure it's codified.
Yeah.
And then also to protect medical professionals to do what God gave you the brains to do, and that's treat your patients.
Yeah.
That is Susie Pollock. She is running for Senate against Justin Brown, and you know, Justin is known for nothing but having a white powdered nose and hanging out with Amy.
True?
Allegedly, hanging out with Amy
the wonderful
Blunt.
Things that Mr. Brown can do.
He hangs out with Amy Blunt on a regular basis. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know.
Allegedly.
Amy Blunt is Roy Blunt's wife. What's going on there?
There's a little bit going on there.
There's something going on there because my wife wouldn't let Amy Blunt in my office. That's all I'm saying. Anyways,
is that a threat? Is Amy Blunt trying to get in your house?
She's not getting in my house.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't talk to her.
I didn't know. I didn't know the backstory.
I wouldn't talk to her. My nose wasn't pointy enough. Anyways, and then we also have Lincoln Huff, Bill White, and Justin Brown and Mike Searpoint. But they are, and then Sandy Crawford is also getting primaried. So Scott Riedel, Riedel, is primarying Bern Scooter, and Jill Carter is primarying Bill White. Jill Carter, District 32. Let me go back. Susie Pollock, District 16, primarying RINO Rustin Brown. District 6 is Scott Rydell, primarying RINO Bernscoter. Remember, Bernscoter worked with Shaw to bring us the Pelosi map.
Yep.
Ball-headed. Makes ball-headed people look bad.
No kidding. You would see your point.
District 32, Jill Carter is taking down RINO Bill White. And then District 30, Joe Nicola and Rachel Aguirre are both going up against RINO Mike Searpoint. And
District 8.
District 8?
I have it at District 8.
I have it at District 30.
All right, we'll double check on that.
All right, we'll figure it out.
You guys are both wrong.
Yeah, it may be the new district.
Could be.
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
Searpoint's being
on
taken
the expose.
Out.
It's 8.
Janet Arnold. Oh yeah. So that's where he is now.
Okay.
District 28 is Janet Arnold taking down RINO Sandy Crawford. And so I'm going to talk about something real quick with the Searpoint thing. Okay. So there are two people, Joe Nicola and Rachel Aguirre, both good candidates going against Mike Searpoint. It's funny, right? Because I was talking to somebody who has really good insight, and he was like, isn't it funny how like everybody's like, Joe step down or Rachel step down, you're going to take votes, but nobody's asking Mike Searpoint to step down.
And we have several reasons.
Right, we have plenty of reasons why Mike
needs
Searpoint
to step down.
Yeah, and we're going to go over that in detail in the next show. In fact, the next show is just going to be exposing these people.
I'm going to tease one.
Yes,
I'm going to tease one. Because another guy, this was sponsored by Huff. You gentlemen have a good day, Huff. We'll get into that in great detail. But just so you know, one of the bills, so Senate Bill 672, he wanted to fast track that. He wanted to vote yes, which is scaled down version of the U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders free college bill.
This guy's a Democrat you're talking about, right?
Oh, Searpoint?
Yeah.
Oh, no. He just acts like a Democrat. He's voted a Republican. Because if he ran as a Democrat, his ass wouldn't get elected.
Right.
He runs as a Republican, lies about it, gets in, and then does this garbage.
He's a squishy
jerk. Supports socialist agenda for free college tuition. Searpoint, we're on you, and your head is more bald than Josh Lehman's.
Which is because you pluck.
That's right. And we have a whole laundry list of we're going to go through on the next show.
Brad's going to make you cry.
I'm going to make you cry. This guy fires me up.
He got me to cry.
He's a jerk. Yeah. Well, wait till you read about Yayo Brown.
Oh yeah, I've read him too.
Yeah. I don't know.
These people.
I don't know if he's getting
just truly terrible people to act this way.
Do you think Yayo Brown is getting consulted by Amy Blunt, and that's why she's always in his office?
Guaranteed.
Probably.
Guaranteed. Oh wait.
What?
What'd you say?
What?
He was in her office?
She's
in his office?
A lot. From what I hear.
She's consulted.
Maybe. I don't think she gets paid for it, though.
Maybe
she does get paid for it.
This has got to be allegedly, right?
Allegedly. Yeah. I mean, this is word on the street.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know how, I mean, we allegedly, people were pulling their co-sponsorships from the bill, and then all of a sudden they started putting them back on.
Well, what's not alleged is his record. His voting,
and that's
let's tease them a little bit on that.
Go ahead.
Let's just go ahead. How about we'll start with the first part of the expose of Justin Brown. So Justin Brown has a lifetime rating from the American Conservative Union (CPAC) of 71%, ranking him 21st out of 24. So
means 3 places away from the bottom.
Yeah, bottom next to Searpoint.
Right.
All right, and these guys are being primary. Just so as a reminder. He also, we'll just do this, voted no on House Bill 2117. It's the redistricting map. So he was against the 7-1 map. So he's gone from 8 out of 24 in 2019 as having a conservative record to 24.
Right. According to the National Club for Growth, he has a lifetime score of 50% for overall conservative voting record for his time in the Missouri Senate, ranking him in the bottom 20% of 24 Republican senators.
So this is another guy who's joining the Democrats practically on everything. He runs as a Republican because he knows in his district if he ran as a Democrat, his ass wouldn't get elected.
Supposedly, he's really good friends with Scott Fawn, who runs the Missouri Times, who I think that's also funded by what is that guy's name?
Walt Disney?
No, it's kind of like him. Steve Tilley, who took Parson on a jet plane to the Super Bowl, the private jet to the Super Bowl. So Fawn is supposedly one that has the debauchery apartment, and him and Brown are best friends. Anyways, Yeah, and he also voted yes on Senate Bill 672, which is fast track, is what it's been dubbed, and it is the downscaled version of U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders' Free College for All plan.
Yeah.
So it supports a socialist agenda for free college tuition.
Yeah.
These are the people we're dealing with, guys. Supports enrollment of illegal aliens in public universities. Supports men playing in women's sports. Supports critical race theory in teaching schools.
Hey.
Supports Obamacare. Supports increase the minimum wage. Support coerced COVID vaccines and public school programs.
Yeah.
Supports higher taxes and cost of gasoline. Supports public funding of abortion.
I know a lot of people my age who would love that.
Yep.
What's that?
Supports large government database monitoring of private patient data. Supports COVID craziness environment. That's funny. Opposed to major tax cuts for Missouri citizens and opposes election integrity reform and supports unrestricted and unaccountable ballot access.
Great guy. Yeah. So, Sir Point.
Must be getting information from Amy Blunt.
Yeah. Voted no on the personal property tax.
Yep.
That would have saved the taxpayers of Missouri $1.4 billion. Mm-hmm. He voted against it.
Right.
Quite a Republican thing to do.
Agreed. And he also voted for that database, right? And he was the one who had the excuse that, well, the reason why I did is because the county already had one. The county already had one and it didn't have good security, so I wanted to make sure we had a bigger one.
Improve the security of the bill or
get rid of it. Get rid of the county one too. Good Lord, you people.
I know what will fix it. More government.
Right.
That's the problem. There wasn't enough government.
Right. So I highly recommend, obviously Mike's not going to drop out because he's a RINO and he's too vested and he thinks people like him. But I would highly recommend Joe Nicola and Rachel Aguirre get together and decide who's going to take this guy on. That's right. Because we can't split votes.
Yeah.
And you guys need to unite behind each other. So you should have a meeting with each other. You should work it out because, that's going to be in the best interest for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think your committee or your counties should have a debate and allow you to present your cases, and then the counties should probably vote who gets the endorsement and who shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because we can't work together. We can't have splitting of the vote.
Yeah.
And I know some people want Joe, some people want Rachel. I just want somebody to beat Sir Point.
Yeah, that's right.
And we'll do their job. And I think the best way to do that is to have a debate. And let the people decide who they want to be their representative.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts. Anyways, all right, so that is going to do it for tonight. It's only been a 2-hour show. Well, for the people on Facebook, it's only been an hour and 45 minutes.
Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome.
Anyways, it actually probably worked out for the best.
I just choked and it all went black.
No, what happens when you run out of air.
I'm on the spot here, and both of you guys are looking at me. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Josh.
Sam just painted black.
Okay, guys. So we are going to go over in detail the RINOs. We're going to continue to follow the primaries and talk about Susie Pollock and Scott Rydell and Jill Carter and Joe Nicola and Rachel Aguirre and Janet Arnold. And we invite every single one of you on the show. We'd love to have you. In fact, we'll host a debate between Joe and Rachel.
Love to.
That's a great idea. Just had this idea
supply
now.
Water. I'll get cookies.
We got water. We'll debranded water.
Debranded.
I have LaCroix.
Is that a sponsor? Ding!
No.
What?
They're
Okay.
definitely not a sponsor.
They're not a sponsor?
Oh. Yeah, it's embarrassing that I even drink it. I don't know.
What do you drink?
LaCroix.
It's it's
LaCroix.
carbonated water.
I like carbonated water. What are you talking about, bro?
Is it flavored? Do you put it with whiskey?
You have to get a little bit
That's
more.
a problem. You put it with whiskey, that's a problem.
No, I don't.
That'll make me cry.
Okay. So I'm actually throwing this out there now. I'd love to have Joe Nicola and Rachel Aguirre on for a debate. And a friend. I mean, it should be a very friendly. It should be a phenomenal conversation. And then you guys can take it from there and hopefully take it back to your county or whatever else is the case too. But we would give you the platform to talk about why you feel like you're the best choice. And then Susie Pollock would love to have you on the show. Scott, Janet, Jill. I wish there was a Jack.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Well, there's Jack.
There's no Jack. Jack, you're going to be the one. Jack, if you hear me,
City.
You need to primary Lincoln Huff. Huff.
You have a good day, gentlemen.
And we need to figure out if there is somebody primarying that. I thought there was. Either way, God, he can't win again. He's
for Huff. I think there was somebody that was primary.
Yeah, dude, he thinks he's in high school again.
Oh my God,
you know what I mean? He's going around hitting on the old ladies there. Forgive me, elderly ladies, but I mean, dude, come on. Anyways. All right,
but
well,
Hitting on old ladies?
I'm trying to wrap it up.
For real?
I was just gonna say if there are any elderly ladies out there that.
Oh yeah, Sam's single. We already made a reference to my grandmother in this chair.
It's true. It's fair. It's fair. All's fair in love and rhinos. Okay. Thank you guys very much for your attention. We will try and clip this up. Now that I have a little bit more free time, I will be able to clip all of those things up. Make sure you pay attention to notifications for the Sam Daily Show. Make sure you're following Patriots with Grit. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And
Angela Romine is primarying Huff.
Oh, sweet. Angela Romine is primarying Lincoln
District
Huff.
30.
We would love to have you on, Angela, because we would love to dog Lincoln Huff out as much as possible and give you as much information as you need to take to debates and anywhere else so that you can completely decimate this dude. Oh, my God.
All on his
He'll
record.
be so heartbroken if a woman beats him. He's that kind of guy, right? So he'd just be heartbroken if a woman beat it. Please, Angela.
Chivalry is dead with that man.
He's a shoe shiner. Okay, anyways. I don't mean to be degrading to shoe shiners. He's a
I do.
He's a jerk. Anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. We appreciate it very much, and we are going to keep this rolling. Take care for God and country.